Hello, Adam. If you had 30 minutes because you were having a really big hemorrhoidy poo, what sort of podcast would you listen to?
Oh, I think I'd probably want something about news and TV.
What sort of
movies?
news? Real news? Boring news?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just gaming news or movie news. Yeah,
Movie news.
Movie news.
I like movies.
Is good movies a sort of good movies?
It is. It's one of those movies that's not shit.
Is it not an Australian movie? It's like Good Day. Good movie.
We had a really good advert then. Chris
Did you?
ruined it with a
Sorry.
bad joke.
Start as you mean to go on.
What about talking about bad movies?
Oh, we should talk about bad movies too.
What if I was having that big poo? What sort of podcast would you recommend to me if I needed to find out about all of the Transformers and the Flying Men of Steels?
I think the perfect podcast you would need if you wanted things about the Men of Steels and the transforming robots and the films and TV connected to those such things would be Snoo with the Crew.
As it happens, that's who we are.
Where can I find it? I'm intrigued.
You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, on the podcast app on your phone.
On the internet?
Yeah.
All of the internet?
All the internets.
All the internets, including the YouTubes is.
And we've got all the social medias, all the Twitters.
Does the URL start with http://www.
Probably.
Who knows? Doesn't matter. Type it in your browser. The browser will find it. Don't use Bing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Snoo with the Crew with Adam, the boy wonder Gattrell,
Hello.
Ross, the Riddler Murphy,
Good evening.
and me.
Fuck! Said good evening again.
And me.
Non-time specific greeting.
And me, Chris Bain Quinton.
I'm going to do the rest of the show like this.
No, I'm not. That'd be stupid. So on this evening's show, we are going to be paying tribute to Mr. Adam West, who passed away just recently.
The one and only true Batman.
And, of course, we're going to do a roundup of the week's TV and movie news. A little bit of games and a little bit of weird stuff at the end. Other than that, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Right. Would you guys be interested in, because I know you like your retro stuff, a reboot of Cannonball Run?
Yeah.
I'd be quite interested in that. Ross?
Only if they get Jackie Chan to be in it.
Yeah.
Well, they
That'd be
did.
cool.
They kind of did a modern version in the form of Rat Race, didn't they? With Ryan Atkinson playing the
I remember
narcoleptic guy, and Seth Green and a few others from comedies around that time.
I don't know if I've seen it.
It's pretty good. It's all right.
They also actually do a real one now as well, don't they?
No, that's separate. That's been going on for a long time anyway. Gumball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Gumball Rally.
That's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a thing.
It is.
Yeah. It's been
And
going on
famous
for
people do it.
quite a long
Gumball
time.
Rally and Parry Dakar, is that kind of
That's
the same
rally,
type of
that's-
thing?
Yeah, not
Is
quite
it?
the same. That's more. That's more motorsport.
That's
So-
proper serious. That.
So, Gumball, you just turn up and fuck around with your big stupid car?
It's mainly just people in sporty cars driving from one place to another, and quite often getting told off by police for speeding.
Dick Dastardly?
It would be better, more
Motley.
interesting if it was them.
Captain Caveman?
You can catch
The
them
Red
in
Hand
in
Gang.
the DC comic at the moment that
Can
I had
you?
a look at. Yeah, the Wacky Race has been upgraded to like Death Race. It's
Nice.
actually really good.
Good.
I really like it. Anyway,
Fun fact: Fawley Power Station, the control center there was used in Death Race.
It was. The original
Ah.
Death Race movie. You told us this a few weeks back.
Oh, for
Wow.
fuck's sake! I've only got like about 4 things I know. And they also filmed Star Wars Episode 8 there. Some of it, not all of it.
Fawley Power Station is just near us, actually. We're on the Isle of Wight. And
it's what makes our sunsets look so beautiful.
It does. And also,
All that pollution.
it really does look like the set of bloody Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It's
you
not
look across
used,
there
just a power
sometimes.
station.
No, but the bit next to it's still a working power station, so
Why does it have flames and smoke coming out of it then?
that's
That's
not
the oil
Fawley, that's the
refinery.
bit near it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. That's
Yeah.
stand corrected. So the oil refinery looks like the set of Blade Runner then.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cannonball Run, the reboot, will be directed by the guy that did Central Intelligence and Dodgeball, or
Okay.
possibly written and directed. I didn't put it on my notes because I'm a numpty, but yeah.
Typical cheap Ben Stiller comedy.
What was that?
films.
Oh, is that Dodgeball? I haven't seen Dodgeball, actually.
It's-
Ben Stiller's horrible team from Dodgeball.
Mm.
That's all I can remember that film.
To me, it's just one of those, because there was a period where Hollywood managed to help fund bigger films by getting people like Ben Stiller to do 10 very cheap budget comedies a year that were still expensive, but they were just pumped them out, and it was stuff like Dodgeball and things like that came out over a certain period, and those films made so much money compared to what they cost to make.
Yeah.
That apparently it helped to fund bigger films in Hollywood.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't get much of that anymore, though.
No,
it's weird.
true. I quite liked it, Central Intelligence, actually.
Yeah, it was alright.
That was pretty good. Not too bad at all, with The Rock and...
Kevin Hart.
That's the one. Other kind of retro-y stuff. Flatliners. Do you remember the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. I saw
Kiefer
a trailer for
Sutherland.
this.
Yeah,
On
that-
Netflix or something, isn't it?
Yeah, they're remaking it. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if it's a Netflix movie, is it?
I thought it was a TV show. Or is it a film?
No, it's a film.
Yeah.
Pretty good cast.
What's her face from
Juno.
Juno and Inception and
Yeah.
Red Cherry or Cherry
Ellen
Falls, or whatever it's
Page.
called.
That's the one. Have a look at the trailer. We'll link it below. It looks all right.
Yeah. Looks like a remake of the original.
Yeah.
I know the original was good, but I wouldn't have said it was the greatest
Is-
film ever.
Flatliners one of those films that probably on the rewatching it probably doesn't stand up, does it?
Probably.
particularly well?
Yeah.
But
Much like other Keith Sutherland movies, like The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
But it had a hell of a cast.
Yeah.
The original, didn't it? It was
Very,
Kiefer
very
Sutherland,
good.
Julia Roberts, maybe Emilio Estevez.
Yeah. I think so.
Possibly. Anyway,
Yeah.
trust me, stellar cast. It was very good. So 28th of September this year, the remake comes out. Do you like Attack on Titan, Adam?
We've just got the comics in for the teenage manga clubs in the library service,
Cool.
and I've had a bit of a read, and I've watched some of the animated bits
Right.
and some of the awful live action.
I've not seen the
Film.
awful live action film yet.
Yeah, I watched about 10 minutes and went, "Oh, this is very, very, very bad."
Not
Teenage-
just very bad.
Teenage Manga Club's the name of my J-pop band.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they'd love you. I'm not hugely into it, but what I've looked at so far is interesting. So, yeah.
So season 3, there's a preview
Ah.
just been released of the manga. Sorry, not the manga. Get this right, otherwise I
Anime.
get lynched. Anime, yes.
Yeah.
There's season 3 preview video is available online. I will link it below. In honesty, not giving much away at all. Series of stills, basically.
Okay.
But still, that's been announced and that's going to be out sometime next year. No set date. Have you guys seen John Wick?
Yes,
The first one. Yeah.
Only the first one, not seen the second one yet.
I watched the beginning bit, as discussed a few weeks ago. The bit with the motorbike.
Oh, yes. Okay, so
That's all I've seen.
did we talk at the time about the TV show?
No.
Okay, so they're doing a spin-off television show.
Oh.
And they're going to call it The Continental. So I
Right.
take it that means it's going to be surrounding the hotel, and it's not necessarily going to be about just Mr. John Wick. It could be about any of them.
So it might be like the comic books then, which aren't specifically about him, but do feature him.
Are there comic books?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so it might be in the same vein as that, where it's... I haven't read many of them. I've had a little delve into it, but it doesn't always seem to be specifically about the Mr. John Wick doing things that involve violence. Sometimes it's other people and violence.
Maybe one of the episodes is just people getting served continental breakfasts.
I really like the universe. I don't mean ours, I mean John Wick's.
I quite like our universe as well.
It's pretty good.
I think I prefer living here to John Wick's universe.
Well, yeah.
Because you'd probably just die by collateral damage.
Yeah.
Like any superhero shit, forget it. Like when they go, what world would you want to live in? You can't think of anything where you go, oh, that would be brilliant. 'Cause
I'd
it
live
would-
in Malcolm in the
every-
Middle's world, because
every
then I'd
world-
be in a separate continent and wouldn't have to deal with any of it.
Every world's pretty much worse.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, do you guys like Luther, the TV show?
Have never watched it.
You should.
Everyone keeps telling me I should.
In honesty,
Yeah, it's one of those shows that enough people have told me to watch it now, and it's never going to happen now.
I said when we were talking about James Bond a few weeks back that I thought Idris Elba, his parts are often better than he is as an actor.
Right.
Luther is like the role.
That is him.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
He
For
would
him.
struggle to not be Luther if he was Bond, though.
Yeah.
Because
It's a similar sort of thing, isn't it?
It is.
Not quite. He's a detective,
Real
isn't he?
hard-ass
Rather than
cop.
yeah.
Detective. Yeah, you're right. Who doesn't play by the rules, you know. It's
does
one of those
Luther
guys. Yeah.
quite a lot.
But it's definitely worth watching, and there's a 5th series. Netflix have picked it up, and it's going to be released in either June or July 2018.
Wasn't it BBC?
I think it was, yeah.
Well, they
Originally.
dropped it, and Netflix have.
It does happen, doesn't it?
Well, BBC.
Right.
Considering how much money you get from me in TV
no,
license.
And the
no. What
government.
happens, right? So the government turns around and tells the BBC that you can't keep spending the money the way you're spending it. I don't want to go into this in too much detail because there's a lot of politics
Do it
involved.
quick.
But real quickly, the BBC aren't allowed to produce as much content themselves as they used to, yeah? So what they do is they get a third-party production company to make something, so then that company maintains the rights, and then as a show becomes popular, it just becomes so popular that BBC can't afford it anymore, a la Great British Bake Off.
Oh.
Really?
And that is, without getting political, it is the
But
government have forced that to happen.
But then
Bit
everyone...
privatisation by stealth.
Everyone in this country pays a TV license, same as like anyone who's got Sky pays for Sky. So surely that's enough money to actually make enough decent programming rather than just repeating everything and having 24-hour fake news all the time.
I wouldn't really go and call the BBC's news fake news.
You know what we should do about it? We should move on. Do you like Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell's Daddy's Home movie, by any chance?
I've never seen it, but it
Daddy's
sounds
Home.
like the sort of combination of movie that I'd fucking hate.
I don't
Okay.
know. I saw The Other Guys, which they
Okay.
did together, which was hilarious.
I think they bounce off each other really well.
I haven't seen Daddy's
I've not
Home.
seen Daddy's Home either, but there's a sequel,
Oh.
which it took me by surprise. Didn't know they were making one. There's
I
a
want
trailer for
another
it.
Other Guys. That was so good.
I think that
Especially
premise
the bit when
looks a
they're
lot
laid on
better.
the floor talking about the explosion of the Death Star and like one of them shouting at the other one because they've both been near an explosion about how did they hear each other on the Death Star when something's just exploded next to them?
I would have just been, it would have been silenced by the vacuum of space. You would have heard it.
But then you would have, yeah.
So there's a trailer for Daddy's Home 2,
Cool.
linked below. The movie's coming out 10th of November, if you like that sort of thing. Did you guys see Saving Mr. Banks?
Yeah, it's
Which
right.
one's that?
That's the one about the writing of Mary Poppins.
No, it sounds like boring.
It's very good.
It's very good. You probably would hate
Look,
it though.
If you went to the cinema and you enjoyed Allied,
Yeah.
I imagine you'd like this film. Just watch it with the missus.
Yeah, but is it actually like Allied had some action in it?
Oh God, it's about the writing of a bloody Disney movie.
Yeah,
It's
and
not an
it
action
not
movie.
a Disney movie that I like.
It's the heart,
so-
Adam. It's the heart.
No.
Oh, such a... Anyway, so the trailer for the Christopher Robin movie that we mentioned a few weeks back has dropped, which has taken me by surprise because it's live action. And I thought it was perhaps going to be a Winnie the Pooh thing, but it's more about A.A. Milne and his relationship with his son. If you like Mr. Banks, probably another one to watch.
So not only are Disney now doing animated films, they're doing rejigged live-action versions of their films, and now writing films about the writing of all of their films.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's loads. You think back, there's loads of films about the writing of things. Like there's that fucking book about, there's that movie about Darwin, isn't there?
That just sounds really
And
boring.
then there's one about the guy who, I don't know, I forget who wrote Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one about Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, but that's different because
That's
he's-
like
Is it different,
his
though?
life of like working towards science and then the degeneration of his body. That's a different thing to I'm writing this book,
But it
and
is still
it's been turned
a
into
character
a film.
piece. No, not a character piece.
Actually, no,
It's
you're
still-
right. It's a creative endeavour either way. Some people just write
Yeah.
scientific papers.
Exactly.
Other people
Yeah,
write
but I think
fantasy.
he's deemed a little bit more important to society and human evolution than the woman who wrote Mary Poppins.
Well,
no
that's-
offence to her, but
that-
Mary Poppins hasn't really had as much effect on the world as
That's an
the
opinionated
writings of
statement.
Stephen Hawkins, is it?
I'm sorry, but I've just realised, why the fuck have they not made a film about Tolkien writing The Hobbit in the trenches of World War One?
That would be an interesting film.
Why have they not made a movie about Mary Poppins in space?
What?
Moving on. Right.
It just confuses me.
I sorry, I thought I had a very valid point there, and he just went. Chris went, "No, forget it." I was talking
I
about
thought I'd had
something
some sort of stroke, like because of what you said. I thought I was mishearing everything.
J.R.R. Tolkien does get a bit of a rough deal, doesn't he? Because he's really fucking important in British literature.
It was
And
in DC Legends of Tomorrow.
was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Yeah, you
Yeah.
mentioned this
What do
on
you
our
mean he
previous
gets a bit of a
podcast.
bum deal?
As in, we don't really like. There's loads of stuff like we're talking about right now. Loads of stuff that people have written or created about people, and I don't think I know anything about Tolkien.
I know as much about Tolkien as I do about J.K. Rowling
Okay.
because I'm not I'm not that interested in their stuff enough to want to look into them.
I think I could easily say I know more about more about J.K. Rowling because of the fact that we live in the now with her.
Yeah. Whereas I think there's other authors and poets like Siegfried Sassoon and stuff that I know so much more about because their work had a bigger effect overall on the populace than back at the time than say Tolkien. Sorry, but
right.
I suppose it all depends on your avenue. I know everything I know about Tolkien comes from that one episode of DC.
Right.
I didn't know he was ill in the trenches and went through some really horrific stuff. So
he was fighting in First World War, Second World War,
First World War.
First World War. See, this is stuff I don't know, and I think you're right. A nice
film
movie
about what he
J.R.
went through
Tolkien.
during World War One and where he ended up and what caused him to write the book would actually be interesting.
And the point that most people don't realise that things like orcs didn't exist before Tolkien. He invented these things for his children.
It's not even that. It's he's such a great linguist that he invented his own languages.
Yeah.
That's fucking mental. I mean, admittedly, it was his day job.
Right.
I'm sure. I think he was Oxford. He's an Oxford professor, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Legit professor of language.
Right. See, again, another thing I don't know. Yeah. So there we go. We need a biopic on J.R. Tolkien. That's what we can take away from this. What are you doing, Ross? Just pour water all over the mixer. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
just all over the headphone amp.
That's okay. Right, animation. There's Ferdinand.
About
a big bull.
Doing
or not doing. A big bull that doesn't want to be a bull fighting bull.
Which is every bull.
Yes. Because probably, they don't want to get stabbed by a sword or
I'm sure there's one or two out there that quite like it.
Anyway, Ferdinand is not about any of those things. It's a children's movie.
Right.
From Blue Sky. And it looks quite cute. There's a trailer for it linked below. Go and have a look. Okay, right, The Mummy.
We're talking about Universal Pictures
Dark
Universe again.
Yeah, I mean, we said last week about the fact that it's doomed, and they've added more. I don't know if you listened to last week's podcast, Adam, but they've added more creatures to the lineup. So they are probably
the humpback of Notre Dame.
That's the one. Yeah. So they are probably going to carry on with this bloody franchise. Just on the basis that
Warner Brothers managed to get to Wonder Woman by doing free shit films, so they might be able to get through free shit ones.
Hey, look, if you throw enough shit on the wall, eventually
it'll look like something.
It will look like a Picasso.
Right, it's had really poor reviews, really bad audience polling, but it's taken 125 million worldwide.
Yeah, but that's because cinema tickets cost about 10-15 quid a pop now. So you need half as many people to make some money.
And it's not a great opening, but it's not bad. Its budget is 125 million.
Well, Tom Cruise is in it, so all the Scientologists will go and watch it because they have to by law.
So this is going to be my point. So it actually is Tom Cruise's biggest ever opening weekend.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's fucking mental.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So does that go with what we were saying before about the actual actors being the pulling power for people going to see movies? And is that going to stand up as we go through the rest of the movies and we start getting to people like...
In this case, it is a pulling power because he's in a cult.
Yes.
And everyone in his cult thinks he's a god and has to go and watch it. If you're not in the cult, then you might go and see it out of curiosity. But I don't think normally that stars are necessarily a pulling power.
So when we get to Javier Bardem, for instance, playing Frankenstein, is that going to have the same effect?
No.
Mate, just file all of this under why Transformers is on its 4th or 5th movie and why Donald Trump's the president of America. Fucking nobody knows.
The world has turned upside down.
To piddle.
The main thing that I found interesting is that it's Tom Cruise's biggest opening weekend.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's very strange.
Considering how bad the trailer was and how awful the film looks.
I liked
when
the
you
trailer,
actually think back and think of his big, massive, famous movies, a lot of them happened in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we've said before, Edge of Tomorrow didn't have a massive opening, but it was massively popular afterwards, wasn't it?
Mission Impossible doesn't do as well now as it did in the early couple. So
I'm assuming Top Gun's made a few quid and Cocktail's made a few quid over the years.
Yeah, just not an opening weekend.
There we go. So yeah, if it's not doomed now, at some point it probably will be.
I looked at the trailer and it just seemed like another film where Tom Cruise gets to do ridiculous stunts and lives forever and is somehow immortal.
Yeah.
And I'm just bored of that. because that seems to be everything he's in. I'm going to run. I'm going to hold on to things. I'm going to shoot at stuff. I'm going to fight someone. I'm Tom Cruise.
Hey, Tom Cruise is pretty much brilliant in everything he's in.
He's a very good actor.
I know
He is a
people
very good
don't
actor.
like him.
I don't like him in certain stuff, and other things I think he's brilliant in. But I'm just bored of him because recently there's a lot of very similar stuff with him in. They just change the people around him and the situation slightly, but it's always he's the hero. Something bad happens, he's the hero again. Or maybe something bad happens to him, but then he survives, and then he's the hero again.
They literally could have called Jack Reacher Tom Cruise, couldn't they?
Yeah. Or Mission Impossible side story.
I heard a bunch of people are blaming Tom Cruise for the shambles, for the fact that The Mummy is a shambles, because apparently he hired a bunch of writers to come in and do rewrites,
because
L. Ron Hubbard.
He actually the most prolific writer in history.
Really?
Has written more novels than anyone else, and then wrote Scientology.
Yeah, but that's not a sign of good.
Hang on,
I
wait.
know.
There's even a gag in Garth Marenghi where he's like, I've written more books than I've even read.
Wait.
I'm a dreamweaver.
This bloody L. Ron Hubbard, you say he's the most prolific writer ever.
He's written the most fictional novels than anyone else.
Do we know this to be true, or is it a North Korea thing?
No, it's true.
Is it North Korea or South Korea?
What?
Kim Jong-un.
That's North Korea.
Okay, so it's...
it's nothing to do with that. No. The L. Ron Hubbard... Like, if you go and look up
L. Ron Hubbard
is
Kim Jong-un.
If you go and look up his bibliography, he has more books written. Doesn't necessarily mean they're good, but he's managed to write more books than anyone else.
Have you seen physical copies of these books?
We have some of them sent to us very regularly in boxes for the library service by the Church of Scientology.
I just...
When you do an impression of Kim Jong-un, like from his dad in Team America, is it racist or is it okay because he's a maniacal evil despot?
I don't know.
It's probably a slight mixture of two. It's probably okay because he is a dictator, but then also slightly racist to anyone else that's from that country.
It doesn't matter. They haven't got televisions to even. They definitely haven't got. They definitely haven't got Stitcher or iTunes.
Hello, North Korea.
Dear.
Hello, North Korea.
But yeah, no. Apparently, Tom Cruise signed a contract that basically gave him more control over the Mummy film. The company turned around and went, "Yeah, okay, we'll agree with everything you want, which is bringing in extra writers, making his own character more important in the story, which he wasn't going to be,
and actually having himself termed as a young man in the script, apparently as well."
Do you know the best
controversial?
Do you know the best film about Tom Cruise at the moment?
No.
It's Louis Theroux's documentary on Scientology. Watch it.
I haven't seen that yet, actually. I have been watching the series that the woman from King of Queens, I spoke about it quite a few podcasts ago. I've been watching more of that, about her leaving the Church of Scientology and trying to help other people that have been disassociated, is that the right word, from their families? No, discommunicated.
Right. Yeah.
From their families and stuff. Very interesting watching. Opens your eyes.
There you go. So, moving on to happier subjects.
Yay!
We've got a bunch of Marvel stuff. There's quite a lot of info here, so it's probably going to take about 10 minutes to unpack.
Go.
So, let's have a look. Deadpool 2.
Yay!
First set photos.
Yay!
Did you see them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where they've been taken at all? Do you know where they're filming?
No, actually.
It's a place called Hatley Castle in Colwood, British Columbia. And I had a little look into it. I thought it's quite interesting that it's been used as the X Mansion quite a few times. It's been used as Queen Mansion in The Green Arrow.
Right.
It's been used as Luther Mansion, not in that TV show, in Smallville. And it was in The Killing television show as a military academy, and it was in MacGyver as a hideout for one of the villains as well. So, yeah, gets used quite a lot.
Weird.
I like it.
For anyone who's listened to this podcast in December, because you can do that with podcast, it's probably about 110 million degrees centigrade in this room right now.
We're all in our pants and
vests. I'm literally
vests.
sweating. Like, I'm just like, I could do with a teaspoon of salt right now. Because I've drunk 2 litres. I've drunk about 4 litres of water in the last hour, and I only had 1 wee, so it's all coming out of the wrong parts of my body.
I've just drunk about a litre of ginger beer. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But
I drank nearly a whole bottle of small bottle of Coca-Cola and 3 litres of water. So
it's all liquid.
Meanwhile, on the Fluid Cast this week, what have you been drinking?
What have you been consuming?
Milk.
It's a really boring podcast, apart from the one time when you record on a Friday night and you're all just getting smashed. Today I drank tea. Later I'm going to have a coffee. But then you get to Friday and you're like, I've had 4 vodkas already. Let's go.
Pass the Sambuca, mate.
Absinthe.
So, X-Men, bloody Dark Phoenix. They've got a director.
Who?
It's Simon Kinberg.
What's he done?
He did... oh, no, he's not been a director before. He's usually a writer and producer. So he did some of the X-Men films that you wish were better,
Oh,
including Apocalypse, for instance.
worst.
Oh, and he did Sherlock Holmes, 2009.
Nah.
Yeah. So,
to
yeah.
be honest, X-Men Phoenix Saga, they haven't set up enough of the storyline to make it worth doing, so I don't know why they're bothering. They're just going to change the timeline so all the films before don't exist again. So,
No,
well, they will.
eventually.
At the end of that film, Phoenix Saga, they'll do something that resets everything.
Do you
So
think?
everything you've just watched means nothing. Same as they did with Wolverine Origins, same as they did with Days of Future Past, same as they did with Apocalypse, same as they did with Logan.
No,
Every
well,
single
look.
one of them doesn't connect to the other properly.
At this point, it's just that's it.
It's taken Adam ages to notice that Ross is sat there with a bottle cap in his eye. Still.
Turned into a cheap version of Penguin from Arkham Asylum.
Brucey boy.
Um,
That's bad. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, they're all they've all got the same actors in, but they're not. They're just
None of them are
they're
connected
not
somehow.
related, are
right,
they?
okay, I've got 2 things to say about that.
Go on.
Firstly, they had to, because they made such a fucking mess of it with The Last Stand. So they'd...
And the one before that.
Erased-
and the
erased
second
it,
half
didn't
of
they?
the one before that, yeah.
What, X-Men 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
it's all right.
first scene
Okay.
with Nightcrawler is
It's
okay,
brilliant, Yeah.
and then the rest of the film is shite.
Okay. Maybe I should go back and watch it. I
Yeah,
might have been
it's
fanboying.
it's awful.
Okay.
All that's reminded me to do.
But then the First Class, the one they did after, was it after Last Stand they did First Class? They waited a little while and then did that.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it was a bit weird that Trask, who made the Sentinels,
Was a black
was
guy.
a tiny dwarf when he was a 6'7"
was
black
in-
man in the previous
Yeah,
film.
yeah. Okay.
That was weird. Like, even though some of the characters are
no,
technically
he was
supposed to be
he
the
was
same.
clearly just inside him, piloting him,
Like a Krang.
like Krang, or even weirder, like Master Blaster
Oh,
from
Professor
Mad Max 3.
Xavier! Ah.
No, like I'm Master, he's Blaster, Master Blaster.
Oh, dear.
So, oh yeah, the other point is that, well, comics have the ultimate excuse. Comic book movies have the ultimate excuse, don't they?
What?
Multiple universes.
No.
Why not?
No, because you can't.
Why is
You,
it
you
all right
can't. You can't use the same actors and the same. Like, even the comics have certain rules to their multiple universes. They'll go, "This is a standalone story," or "This is a side universe." Like in Marvel's case,
Yep.
here's the standard universe. Here's the ultimate universe. These all over here to the right, the far right, of standalone stories just about these characters by certain people. They make it clear, and then sometimes they'll cross over. But with the X-Men films, it's like, well, we did these ones, they weren't very good, so we're going to do these new ones. It's got some of the same people in, and it is connected, but it's not connected because of time travel.
Okay.
And then they do another film and go, yeah, but everything in the last one wasn't what we wanted, so we've done time travel again,
Would we?
and we've changed this woman's powers so she can send someone through time touching his head when her power is to walk through walls. So apparently that makes it okay.
Yep.
Right,
And
the
it just
problem-
gets worse and worse from there on.
I'm sorry, this
It's
is
sketchy. I
as
understand.
somebody who
but
doesn't read a lot of comics. This is the problem with comics, right? There's 500 characters written by 500 people over the last 80 years, and now and then you end up with fucking shit like Final Crisis, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got movie studios coming in and going, right, how can we unpick this just spaghetti bolognese of just mental...
They could do it very easily with
Garbage.
X-Men, but they never do. They always go, oh, Wolverine's got to be in it, and then do a totally different direction to what they could do, because it's very simple X-Men. Yeah, there's loads of characters, but for the films, you only need 5 characters in the first, 10 characters in the second, and then maybe bring in a couple more in the third or fourth, and actually just build up to a point where you can do something like Phoenix Saga, rather than going, let's pick the major story like Apocalypse, who no one's ever read, that's going to watch the films who haven't read comics, so it's going to make no sense who half the people are.
I'll tell you what, though. At least they are kind of trying some new stuff now, and
Oh, yeah.
it got stagnant before. and this one's going cosmic apparently, which is it's all right. But they've only got like a certain amount of characters that they can choose from as well, I think, when they go down that path. So
yeah, well, a lot of them belong to
so
Marvel
they can't,
Studios, and a lot belong to.
they wouldn't
the
be able
other
to. They wouldn't be able to use the Kree, would they? I don't think so. Who are the other ones?
There's Shi'ar.
Shi'ar, yeah.
Yeah, they get the Shi'ar.
I think I've heard Shi'ar mentioned somewhere along the way.
Well, just
Anyway.
fucking make them up.
So what about Spider-Man? What if we did like let's say a new movie with Spider-Man with a Universal crossover? So I'm sure there was a comic, wasn't there, where they did loads and loads of Spider-Verses, Spider-Verse crossovers.
Yeah.
Crossovers. So you had lots of different Spider-Men from different
dimensions,
universes
yeah.
coming together to beat a
There's
foe.
a video game of that, isn't there? Is that the newer
no,
ones?
Shattered Dimensions. It's not quite the same.
But it's like multiple Spider-Mans.
Yeah. You got 4 of the Spider-Men from different universes
Hey, I
in
don't
that
think you
story.
were on the podcast when we talked about that cool
No.
episode of the Turtles where they do that.
Yeah, I felt like I needed to correct you on some of the stuff from that, but I can't remember what now.
What?
Of course
Because
you
I
did.
watched it once and said,
No. Just there was a lot of stuff in that episode when you were talking about crossover things that I was like, oh, I wish I was there. I could correct everyone
I'm
on the
gonna-
little details.
I'm going to cut you out, Adam.
But yeah. Anyway.
just cut him out of this whole entire podcast, mate.
So anyway, look, I think that would be cool. A Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland,
If they do it in the right way, why not?
maybe the guy that played him in the 80s, whoever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be
He's
cool.
probably dead now.
Decrepit
The thing
Spider-Man.
is, if as long as they write a good enough story that it legitimately makes sense,
Yep.
and it's done in a way that looks good, the acting is on point, the special effects look right, and then the story is good enough, I'm always up for anything. They can cross over fucking Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and E.T. for all I care.
No, they cannot.
Well, they already have.
They haven't. They
No, but if they do
technically
it
they have.
right and they find a way of
Haven't.
writing the storyline that they could do it and do it right, I'm up for it. But it's very fucking unlikely that a team of writers will get together and agree and that the producers won't go, well, we could have that important bit of storyline in, but instead, why don't we just move that out and chuck in an explosion?
Right.
Because, yeah.
Anyway, so the good news is that Sony have actually confirmed that their spin-off Spider-Man movies will be connected to the MCU.
To the Marvel Studios,
Yeah.
Disney, Marvel film.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the Venom movie and Silver and Black, they're calling it now, which
Yeah,
is a Silver Sable and Black Cat.
yeah.
And so we've got Venom, which is slated for a 2018 release. And
What was that noise?
It's me being excited about a comic book character.
Do you like Venom?
I like it because quite often he does his little wrappy round thing and squeezes people's heads till they pop.
Yeah.
I like that.
and it's
when
going
he
to be
does that.
R-rated as well, so that could
Yeah.
happen. It's being directed by Zombieland's Ruben Fisher.
And if they do it, because if they're not going to be connecting it directly to Spider-Man in the first instance in the normal sort of origin story, and they're going to be doing their own thing with it, then hopefully they can link to Guardians of the Galaxy, because he is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy team at the moment, one of the versions of Venom.
Right.
So, yeah, that could be
Well, like
interesting.
the other thing about Venom is he's not really, either of them aren't particularly bad. They just make them each other more baddie, don't they?
Yeah. Jealousy and fear.
Anyway, right, Venom, 2018 release.
Cool.
I think that's October, if I remember rightly. And, of course, starring Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Mm,
Silver and Black. That's going to follow the female villains, as we said, Silver Sable and Black Cat. And that's going to be directed by Gina Prince Blythewood.
never heard of her. What's she done?
Literally, the only credit I could find for her is that she directed the pilot of Marvel's Cloak and Dagger, which is coming soon,
Oh, okay.
which has been well received and it's been picked up, which you might
I'm
have heard
looking
on the
forward to
podcast
that,
last
to be
week.
honest.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where we go, where it goes, and
Who's actually the thing I'm confused about with that is it owned by the MCU TV side of stuff, or is it owned by the
It's gonna be-
Sony, who own X-Men?
ooh, that's a good point.
Sony don't own it.
Sorry, Fox.
Hey, I knew something about comics then.
Yeah, because if Fox own it, then we'll never get them crossing over into
over
other
with-
stuff.
With
Which,
Runaways,
yeah, which I
which
would
is what
far
I
prefer.
speculated on last week, actually. Yeah. Okay, so that might not happen.
Yeah, because they were a major part in the Civil War storyline, which obviously they didn't do the full version in the film.
Yep.
They did a sort of scaled down version of it,
well.
but
yeah.
they could still come in and use them in that way in other stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
Spider-Man itself, Homecoming, is we're not far away, are we? It's July 7th it comes out. So it's
Oh, it's 17th.
new. So,
Bloody hell.
so not that long away. And yeah, it's got some first reactions appearing online today, which are pretty bloody positive, which is good. A bit of a not such a great review for the bad guy, which is kind of typical of Marvel. But
Yeah, I think this will be a more interesting bad guy than we've had for a while in Marvel, though.
yeah, well, he's got the potential to be. And that's the thing I kind of like about Spider-Man villains, actually, is that where, for instance, you've got like Superman's villains are always like cookie cutter copies of him,
Yeah.
because they have to be like equally powered to make it interesting or make it a little bit more, I don't know, an even battle perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that happens. Sorry, that
happens with all superheroes, right?
All superhero, and the worst offenders is every origin story for every bloody movie is the same thing. Like, look at Hulk; he's just a grey Hulk.
Except Spider-Man.
Iron Man, it's just another man in an Iron Man suit.
Except Spider-Man.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's villains are interesting and fun and cool.
Why is it that they didn't like pick up on this for other characters and realise that you can make things a bit more interesting by diversifying?
I think it worked with Iron Man 1 because it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But I think other films, they've made the mistake of picking the carbon copy because maybe it's just easier, and they think the audiences that aren't into comics are too stupid to necessarily understand a character being thrown in that's so different from the main one. So they want to keep that for a second or third film, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? Anywho, all right, Guardians of the Galaxy, you just mentioned there are some little bits and bobs being like released about it.
What, the next one?
Yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Why is there anything released about a script until the film's in the fucking cinema?
Well, there you go. But there's some rumours about major involvement with Infinity War 2, which I quite like.
Sounds
And,
good.
for instance, some of the prop weapons being used by actors in mocap gear kind of indicate that possibly Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive,
Right.
which are some of Thanos' guys, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Team of Killers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
his lackeys.
Yeah.
Also, though, James Gunn has been quoted as possibly changing something in canon, which kind of indicates that he might be introducing Lila the Otter, if you know who she is,
Rad.
which is like a Rocket Raccoon female counterpart
Yeah.
type thing. Bit of a love interest. You know, raccoons and otters, they get it on. Let's get it on. Ross is not saying
Trying to work out how
anything.
that works in my head.
I don't think it
Really
really
funny,
does
yeah.
work, but they're genetically enhanced. So
Do you know what you'd get?
maybe it does.
What would you get if they mated? You'd get ricotta.
Oh, Jesus. Sometimes I hate being in this room.
I hate being in this room because it's 48 million degrees centigrade in here.
I think I've warped the wood of the chair I'm sat on with my sweat.
Just to wrap up the Marvel bits and bobs, you've had the production schedules for Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, and Ant-Man 2 released.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man and Ross.
And Ross.
And
No,
Ross.
and Wasp. If Ross is in it, then he's keeping that a big secret.
So, surprisingly, I thought this is pretty bloody good going. They are tackling all three features between July 2017 and May 2018
Yeah.
in the Atlanta City's Pinewood Studios.
Amazing.
So, Avengers 4, the working title being Mary Lou 2, is expected to wrap principal photography by December 13th.
Rad.
Captain Marvel, which has got the working title Warbird, begins filming in January.
Nice.
And
If they're actually introducing the character Warbird, I'll be very happy. Unless they're swapping over after Infinity War, Captain America dies, and what's his name, Sam, who is Falcon, takes over.
who knows?
That could be interesting.
Could go anywhere.
Just don't know yet.
But they're expecting that to finish principal photography on May the 11th.
Cool.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, its working title is Cherry Blue, begins filming on July 6th.
Cool.
So your bloody rundown for Marvel movies, I'm going to stick it in just because I really like it. We've got July 7th this year, Spider-Man Homecoming. November 3rd,
Thor Ragnarok.
February 16th next year, Black Panther.
Yeah.
May 4th next year, Avengers Infinity War Part 1.
Yeah.
July 6th next year, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Venom, October 5th next year.
Cool.
March 8th, 2019, Captain Marvel. May 3rd, 2019, untitled Avengers film. So that's
Yeah.
Infinity War Part 2.
Or whatever they decide to do.
Yeah. July 5th, 2019, Spider-Man Homecoming 2.
Cool.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Silver and Black are both down as TBAs at the moment.
I did notice recently on another podcast that's done locally. They have a little Facebook page, and they chucked up a list of Disney films in general coming out until between now and 2020.
We did it a little while back, yeah.
It's nuts.
Yep.
Like animated, Pixar, live action,
Yep.
Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a lot of money rolling around. Yeah.
Jesus.
Absolutely. We've got that list in one of our previous episodes.
Right, okay.
So go back and have a listen.
They should.
Right, that'll do for bloody Marvel. We can do DC, and that'll roll nicely into our topic of the week. So Junkie XL, the guy that did the music for Batman vs Superman, he kind of paired off with Hans Zimmer for it. He was doing the music for Justice League, and
He also did Deadpool.
did he?
Yes.
He's been booted off, hasn't he?
Ah.
Yeah. This week, quite interestingly. So there's not really any indication as to why. But he's being quite cool about it. He's just kind of saying, you're not really a part of Hollywood until you've been sacked for some reason or another. So off he goes, and they've got Danny Elfman doing it instead. That was Ross. No, sorry, that was Adam drinking a bottle of water, reacting at the same time.
Yeah, soundtrack.
He's
of
a very
Ghostbusters.
talented composer.
Yeah. What's he done?
Batman,
Ghostbusters.
Ah,
The Simpsons theme tune.
really? Okay. So this is a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the soundtrack will be good.
Did you not like Batman vs Superman?
Well, no, I'm just thinking it might be a good thing in one of their films for once.
Adam doesn't like anything. Don't forget that.
I like a lot of things. Just
His favourite movies
we never
are
talk about them.
Transformers, The Last Night, Suicide Squad, and Care Bears movie.
Oh, okay. When was the last time you saw Batman vs Superman?
A little while ago when my mate said, "Oh, you should watch the extended cut. It makes more sense."
Okay.
And I did watch it.
What's the killer part for you?
What do you
All
mean?
of it.
What's the killer bit? What destroys the movie? 'Cause
So,
it's not all
so many. Oh, it's so bad all the way through. There's so many bad mistakes in storytelling and in
Go on, give us some
action.
Do you know what really grinds my gears?
Just-
Go on.
Is the scene where he's dreaming and he's just gunning everyone down. That's just weird.
Why is it weird?
Because it's just weird, isn't it?
In what way? Why is it weird?
Because it just doesn't feel right.
It's the future. It's been, Darkseid has come along.
Yeah,
and
that
fucked
bit doesn't
everything up.
doesn't bother me because it's a dream. They could do whatever with that. It's the how Lex Luthor seems to be able to just do anything with alien technology because he's Lex Luthor. Ooh, which
it's a comic
doesn't
book
make,
movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation to how he's got hold of anything. It just seems to all suddenly be in the right place, and he has all the information he needs to do these certain things. And it's like, meh.
But he does. He has.
You don't understand why he hates either of the characters. There's no connection. Lois Lane has this thing that could be really useful and throws it into a lake and then falls in to try and get it and nearly drowns. Like, just to be able to have Superman come away from the situation to... there's so many things wrong in that
classic
film.
storytelling. Though.
Hey, I know.
No,
why
it's
this
not. It's
Batman's
bad
really good.
storytelling.
That's giving the hero one more time to see the girl and remind the viewer of their connection.
But they didn't.
Before you kill them.
Yeah, but it wasn't done very well. It's just a hand coming in the water, pulling her out, grabbing the spear, going, "Yeah, cheers, love." Fucking, yeah, whatever. Flying off and going, "Fwacha!" And the end 20 minutes were just a mess of CGI.
Wonder Woman's the same.
Yeah, I know. I liked Wonder Woman, just not that last scene. And the slow motion 20-minute scene that could have been 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
The rest of the film is brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It's just those two bits. In the middle of Wonder Woman in the end. And it's the same problem with Batman vs Superman. Most of the moments are either so beyond actually explaining anything to the audience that you just cannot enjoy it, or it just doesn't make sense. And then stupid things like that, "Oh, your mum's got the same name as my mum." Fuck off.
Okay.
Now, just fuck off.
Have you
Do you know
gone
what I
back
mean?
and watched the YouTube video that I suggested to you a while back that will change your perspective on it?
Yeah, it doesn't change my perspective on it.
Why not?
Because I watched it and it's still just badly done.
Okay, what do you think is the story?
What, as in that film?
Yes.
Fuck knows.
No, the Martha thing. What is the story with that moment in the movie?
From watching the extended one, I say a few weeks back now, and watching that video ages ago.
Right.
The story is that there is basically no real reason for them to use the Martha story.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
Yep. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Go on.
Superman already knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
because he's worked it out because he's met them at a party and he's
Yeah.
heard Alfred
Yeah.
chirping away in his ear,
Yeah.
talking about stuff.
Yeah.
And he's gone, okay, 2 and 2 together. He's Batman.
Yeah.
His parents were Martha and
Thomas
Wayne. And he already knows that
Yeah.
Batman's mother's name is Martha. And he's just playing that as a final card just before he gets killed.
But it's not explained well enough throughout the film.
No.
It's just done as like a, my mother's name's Martha too.
And that's pretty much everybody's
And-
first interpretation of it.
Yeah, but they don't, that's what I mean, they don't explain, it's bad storytelling.
Sorry, everyone's first interpretation of it is it's a load of bollocks that they become mates over the fact their parents got the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the right feeling for the way the film was designed and made.
So it doesn't make it a good film, does it?
Well, if you...
It makes it a bad film because everybody thinks that.
It's
The
bad
fact that-
and
the fact that
lazy
you've gone-
storytelling.
The fact that retroactively you've gone back and gone, oh, either read that or worked it out yourself, and now you're like, oh, it's a good film now. No, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's a bad film because of that.
I think that part specifically is the main stumbling block for most people that watch that movie.
Yeah,
and
that's not my main stumbling block, but it is a big one.
Either side of it, it's really not a bad film.
Oh, it is. It is so bad.
It gets... Yeah.
It's such a badly put together film. The editing is awful. The timing of the pace and the pace in general, like the acting, the choreography, just there's so much wrong with it.
There are far worse superhero movies.
Yeah, Batman 3
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
with Bane.
Yeah.
No, that's the
Or
right.
Batman and Robin.
Wow. Yeah.
Batman Forever.
Spider-Man 1 and 2, X-Men 1, 2 and 3.
I'd tell you what incarnation of Batman never faltered though. It's 1966
Yeah.
Batman. It was like the same all the way through, massively popular when it first started.
You got what you expected.
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
single time.
Absolute campness,
Yeah.
like just that tomfoolery, joking around.
Do you know where all that came from?
No.
Amazingly, the camp, silly, fun element of Batman 1966 all comes from the fact that Yale Udoff, one of the executives at ABC that sort of convinced everyone to do that series, was at one of Hugh Hefner's parties,
Right.
where everyone was dressed up as characters from Batman comics because Hugh Hefner was a big comic fan,
Right.
and everyone was being like silly versions of the characters and at a party having fun.
Right.
And the guy saw it, I think, Yale Udoff, and he basically just contacted people at ABC and just went, "God, it's a really good idea," and pitched what we got.
Really?
That's apparently how it came about in its earliest kind of.
Isn't it funny
Form.
how Hugh Hefner has such a big plays such a big part in bloody mainstream pop culture?
Yeah, like even to the point where mind blankness, so hot.
James Bond?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, Jesus, my brain, it's so hot. Yeah, James Bond, Playboy.
The thing is,
Like-
he wasn't always an old dude.
No.
Is that all
Was
you've
it?
got
No,
to
but
say?
that's the thing, isn't it?
Wasn't
We just-
always an old
we just
dude.
think of Hugh Hefner as like some old dude, and then you just go back like 40 years, and he's not just that wrinkly old dude.
Yeah, but I've never thought of him as someone that would be into comic books or would promote sort of sci-fi or popular culture figures, and he's kind of been quite important in 2 of those now. 2 weeks in a row. Like, there's been stuff to do with him helping stuff that we all now love become popular, which is weird.
Hang on, Hugh Hefner and Stan Lee are basically the same person, aren't they now?
Oh, God. Except for, thankfully, Hugh Hefner isn't getting bloody cameos in shitloads of James Bond movies or whatever.
I think that would be hilarious. Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a suggestion for
Stan
you,
Lee's
Hollywood.
a bit like George Lucas in the respect that it doesn't matter how bad his cameos are. You can't say anything about them, can you? Because if it wasn't for
I love
him,
him.
if it wasn't for him, those cameos wouldn't even exist, would they?
Exactly.
Some of them are fantastic, though, aren't
Oh.
they? The Spider-Man, that's my favourite part of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or is it Amazing Spider-Man 2? The one in the library.
One of them,
That's
yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 1, isn't it? They're both terrible films. Anyway, that's not talking about Batman,
No.
which we are talking about Batman, because that's our thing.
We lost.
For this
We
week.
lost the original Batman.
We did.
The first. Well, I say the first film incarnation or filmed incarnation. But Andy Warhol did try to make a DC Batman film in the early 60s,
Did
which DC were like, you don't have permission for this, and there are only like a handful of photos left over.
Oh, really?
No one's ever seen it, so
Cool.
Was there in the same way as a remember Fat Superman from like the 30s?
George.
Is there a
yeah.
Batman?
No.
Is there a black and white Batman TV show?
Don't think so.
No.
That came out at the same
it was
time as the
60s.
Rocketeer or whatever it's called.
No,
And-
60s Batman, because you had the original Detective Comics that Batman was in, and then he got his own comic in the...
But
think
you
it
know
was-
the Superman I'm talking about.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, with Batman, he came about a little while after Superman, and didn't get his own comic until a while after Superman had his own comic. Then they did the World's Finest, where they crossed over Batman and Superman. But there was a lull in Batman comics at the beginning of the 60s. They became very unpopular. They weren't selling. There was almost at a point of cancelling it, and then Adam West on TV happened, and I think that plus other things happening in the comics kind of brought Batman back to the...
So did the
the
TV
front.
show affect the comic in quite big ways?
I think it actually caused the comic to tame a little bit. Not a lot of people, because everyone like even your reaction to Batman's dream in Batman vs Superman of just gunning everyone. Most people think Batman would never use a gun and would never kill anyone because he says that all
Yeah,
the
it's
time
bollocks.
now. Yeah. There's loads. I've even got some written down. He hung a mental patient from a bat plane in Batman #1, saying
He
he'd
did.
probably be
I've
better
seen
off.
Yeah.
That's pretty mental. He kicks a guy and snaps his neck in Detective Comics #30. He punches a guy backward onto a blade sticking through a door in Detective Comics 37. He seals KG Beast into a room underground and just seals the door shut and leaves him there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
No way of escaping, just leaves him there.
What a pleasant chap.
In All-Star Batman and Robin, he throws a Molotov cocktail right in the face of a group of criminals. And that was more recently.
Oh, yeah. There's in actual fact, there's a guy on YouTube, Mr. Sunday Movies,
Oh, right.
who does like supercuts of stuff, and he's done one of Superman and Batman, like all their kills from the films.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Superman taking a whole building down.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, like so, a lot of people think that the Batman was like the '60s TV show when it first started, but it wasn't. It was actually very dark. As I said, like the Batman #1, he hangs a mental patient from the Batplane and says he'll be better off that way, or probably be better off that way. So I think the Adam West show definitely had a positive effect on bringing the comics to
So
a
how
younger
the fuck
audience.
did the Adam West show even happen then?
Because of the Hugh Hefner thing that I said about a minute ago, Ross.
I'm struggling to keep up. It's very hot.
That's something I really like about Batman versus Superman, actually, is that we've got that starting point. We've got kind of a darker Batman, and maybe he's been driven in that direction. But it's maybe he'll be a bit more positive in later films,
Yeah,
and he'll go on to the not killing again thing, because he's a motherfucker, isn't he?
yeah, in that particular version of him. Yeah. Because there are versions where he doesn't kill, and that's fine. But yeah, I think the 60s Batman has had a huge effect on people, especially after the 50s with the psychologist that was trying to get comics banned because he believed that they were psychologically affecting children to commit crimes and become gay and all these other things that particular psychologist thought was wrong at the time.
To be honest, how Batman fucks people up these days, he pretty much, the people are nearly dead anyway, aren't they?
yeah,
like, they're
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Like you're in
I'm gonna
prison
punch you in the
and
throat
on
3 times.
and if your throat happens to close up and you stop breathing, that's not my fault.
No, that's
I
your
don't
fault.
murder you.
I'm Batman.
You should have worked on your throat more. Yeah, lazy bastard.
Oh dear.
Should be doing your throat workout every day.
Or I've kicked you so hard, it's not my fault there's a window there and you've fallen out of it.
And landed on a spike that was in the top of a fence, way down. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I thought there was a mattress out there.
Oh.
So, Adam West wasn't only Batman. He's
No.
had quite a few other parts. I was quite surprised when I looked at IMDb earlier on today.
He's done quite a lot
there's
over the years.
a shitload of stuff,
Mm.
including something really hilarious, and I'll link a trailer below. The Shazam show from 1974.
Is that where he went on as Batman?
I don't know who he played in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Guilty of not looking that bit up. But, my God, the the production values of this thing, you've got to go and have a look at it.
Rad.
It's hilarious. Yeah, the guy playing Shazam should not be playing Shazam. And, well...
Well, other than
I don't know how. I don't have the words to express how terrible it looks.
I have to have a look. Other than Batman, though, like, he's played himself in various works over the years more than he's played episodes of any other character he's been in anything.
Big Bang Theory, Ross.
Fuck Big Bang Theory. What you meant to say was Family Guy.
Wow.
Yeah, Family
there is
Guy,
that too.
among many, many others. He's been in so many things as himself because he is, like, it's not something I say about many people, but I'd probably say he is one of the original pop culture icons.
Yeah.
He is he is at the start of where, like, there's a guy in the late 50s playing with Roger Miller wearing the first Batman shirt.
Right.
So imagine then gets to the 60s and you're the first Batman, and there's been people in bands started wearing Batman symbols on their shirts. No one's done that before.
Yeah.
So Batman already had started becoming something bigger than itself, and then Adam West got to play him.
Great part for him. He's done very well out of it.
Yeah. Well, Burt Ward's done pretty well out of it. He nearly died 3 times on set and ended up in hospital about 6 times because of the stunts. There's one in the car where he sort of flew out of the car as they turned a corner.
Right.
And took out a cameraman. So yeah, he did end up quite injured.
So he decided to go on to work where there was just more padding around all the time?
I think they just got better with their safety as it went on.
You do know what I mean, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you know what I mean, Ross?
No idea.
He was a porn star.
Yeah.
Oh, was
After
he?
Batman, yeah. he
Yeah.
was.
Only for a while, and then he set up a charity called Giant.
Giant Dick Grayson's.
The Giant Dick Grayson Foundation.
No, it's the Gentle Giants Rescue and Adoption Services for large dogs.
Oh, right.
Please tell me his porn name was Dick Grayson.
That would have been
know.
amazing.
Should we look it up?
Yeah. So yeah, he started up a charity after doing the porn and other bits that he'd been doing, and the charity looks after big dogs, and he also has a
Big
food
Dog Grayson.
company out of it that him and his wife make dog food that doesn't contain any chemicals and stuff, which has been, like, they've done studies and stuff and has been proven to be healthier for the sort of bigger breed of dogs, and has actually made it so a lot of these dogs feel healthier and happier and react better to training and all sorts of things like that. So that's what he seems to be up to now anyway.
Dogs die in hot cars, by the way.
I can't see anything to tell us that he used any other name than Burt Ward. So, yeah.
So he's not gone by any particular...
I don't think he's gone by any particular moniker other than Burt
okay.
Ward.
Right, fair enough.
Burt Ward, porn superstar. Anyway, Batman.
Yeah.
Any other fun facts for us there, Adam?
Robin first appeared in issue 38 of Detective Comics and was only supposed to be a one-off, as the editor didn't like Bob Kane's idea of him having a young sidekick. And then
Bob Kane's idea, eh?
when at the time,
This is controversial, isn't
Bob Kane went to the editor with the idea,
right?
Although the character designs were done by Bill Finger. Bill Finger's wasn't until later, I think it was the 80s, when Bob Kane mentions Bill Finger in his biography.
Right.
Bill Finger didn't get any sort of recognition for what he'd done, whereas now there's like a hell of a lot of, including the Superman creators and various other Marvel creators that never got their names put on anything. They're all now sort of, because back then when you worked in a comic book company, you basically got paid a check to just do the work.
Yeah.
And there was only a handful of people that were the main writers that would get recognition.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily his fault at the time, it's just how the business
It's
works.
like Motown.
Yeah.
So all the main singers get all the recognition.
Yeah. Whereas that short little white guy from the Midlands who sings on most Motown records from the 70s, who is this little troll-looking being, doesn't get the recognition for all the songs he sang on.
If you're listening, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he's this tiny little... He looks like a comedy troll because he's got weird, mad hair and stuff. But
Fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
amazing vocal.
Somebody did the bloody did the Buena Vista Social Club thing with the guys from Motown just recently, and went and sort of got hold of all the old musicians and said, right, you guys, you were only ever paid on a day rate. That's really not fair because everyone else was millionaires and walking out and like buying fancy cars and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the world very much aware of this, and we're going to take you on a tour of America and make them rich in their old age, which is
amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the Buena Vista Social Club. I don't know if you know that story.
Yeah. It's that's the thing, though, with a lot of the comic artists, the sad thing is most of them had died before the recognition was out there, which is good for the families to see their relative who'd done all that hard work.
There is a documentary about this thing with Batman, though, called Batman and Bill.
Yes.
So that should be... Excuse me.
Put a link at the bottom and...
That should be informative for people if they want to go and have a look.
Yeah. On top of that, there is now in Canada at the University of Victoria a course, a real course called The Science of Batman.
No.
The course description states, this is what I've taken directly from the course. You'll like this, Ross. You can do a course called The Science of Batman. The extreme range of adaptability of the human body explored through the life of the Caped Crusader.
That sounds all right.
It sounds insane to do sort of basically like biological adaptability as a science, but it's called The Science of Batman. So, explaining how adaptable the human body can be,
right?
But using Batman as the examples. That's
bizarre.
Yeah,
really bizarre.
Yeah, obviously they'll probably link it to real world cases of people being able to do insane things, and then obviously adapt it back to the storylines of Batman. But and then the only other person to play Batman more times than Adam West is voice actor Kevin Conroy. 8 TV series, 13 animated movies, and 10 video games.
Wow.
So Batman from that stupid fucking game that I finally completed is the same Batman from
the animated series.
Batman the animated series.
Yep.
I said I recognised his voice, didn't I?
Yep, Kevin Conroy.
That'll be why. Adam West did do the voice work for Return of the Cape Crusaders, though.
Yes.
Did you watch it yet?
I went to the only showing at the cinema when they showed it at the cinema a while ago.
Was it good?
They only did one showing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Better than all the modern live-action Batman films.
Better than The Killing Joke.
Yeah. Easily better.
Not really difficult.
No. No, but even like the Batman Begins, like the animated one, Cape Crusader, or Cape whatever it is, with Adam West and Burt Ward doing their roles, and I think only one of the original cast, because all of the original sort of 60s villains have died now, other than one, I think.
Right.
So there was people doing the voices. That whole film is like better than all the Batman films, easily. It's just so well done.
Cool. Bruce Wayne getting all jiggy with it with Barbara Gordon's a bit wrong uncle as well, isn't it?
Tis a bit.
I'm your mentor. I will teach you. I'm clearly 20 years older than you. And
I'll teach you anal.
Pump you on the
roof.
On the roof in our bat outfits.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a second one as well.
Second what?
Cape Crusader film.
Oh, really?
They started filming it and they had it with Two-Face in, and the voice of Two-Face is the guy who was supposed to be Two-Face in the original movies, but then they never actually did.
You mean from the Tim Burton movies?
Yes.
So that's the guy that plays Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
Yeah. What's his name, Ross?
Bob? Sorry, no. I don't know.
Shit, forgotten.
I can't remember his name.
It's falling out of my head.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams.
That's
Billy D. Williams, that's the one.
So yeah,
so hot. So hot.
So
I can't think of famous Star Wars characters.
Yeah, he did the voice of Two-Face in that, and also in the Lego Batman movie.
Which is bloody amazing.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's really good.
There's
really
1080p
good.
versions of it available online. Go and watch it.
Yeah, well,
You've
I'll
got
wait
no excuse.
until I can watch it properly.
It's very, very good.
A lot of like homages and callbacks to different versions of Batman in it and stuff.
So
it's
many
very
references.
funny.
And like really fucking hilarious ones as well.
Even
like,
ones like connecting to the like taking the mick out of the computer games and stuff. It's, yeah.
All I know is someone on a podcast I listened to said he played the latest Batman game, the one with the car.
Yep.
The
Gotham Knight.
He just got the skin and played as Adam West's Batman all the way through that whole really super serious game, but just dressed as Adam West.
Nice.
He just said it was fantastic.
Amazing.
I'd do that.
Imagine what it'd be like doing all those animations where he's like smashing people into the floor and stuff.
Especially
really
if they add in the kapows
if they'd added those in, that would have been incredible.
Amazing.
Like and because there's little cues, isn't there? There's visual cues in that game to tell you when people were attacking. If they'd have just put 1960s visual cue, they've like taken things from that Batman. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he did loads of other stuff as well. Mr. Adam West did some voice. Well, he's done loads and loads of voice work for other stuff, like including Robot Chicken. If you guys are fans, I'd bloody love it. I never picked out his voice. Something called Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero. He's been a voice actor in Scooby-Doo, Grand Theft Auto 5,
Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he was
okay.
in that.
SpongeBob SquarePants. He was the young, oh boy, what are they called?
I know what you mean. I don't know what it's
the
called.
crime-fighting duo.
Yeah.
Seaman and no, it's not it, is it?
Masters of the Universe.
Seaman.
No, you know what I mean. Though.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
played the young version of one of them. Mermaid Man. That's who
That's
it is.
it, yeah.
Young Mermaid Man. It was in 30 Rock, The Simpsons. Space Ghost, Coast
Yeah,
to Coast.
yeah. Oh, that's enough.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast is the new
Oh,
version.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a Archer style kind of comedy take on. Yeah. If you've not seen that, you should go and watch it. It's very good. Best Batman movie, Ross.
Batman Returns, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Surprises me. Why?
Then Batman Begins.
Why Batman Returns?
Because I just really like it. I saw it 3 times in the cinema when I was young. 'Cause I think that the first time I ever went to re-watch the movie,
Is it Michelle Pfeiffer in a cat suit?
there was some of that because of the particular age I was at that point.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito's brilliant in it. Christopher Walken's brilliant in it.
Yeah, true.
Michael Keaton's brilliant in it.
True.
He's a better Bruce Wayne than he is Batman.
Yeah.
But
A weird Bruce Wayne, though. Like a nerdy Bruce
Quirky,
Wayne.
fucked up mentally. I like it. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I think Bruce Wayne should be, to be honest.
It's just how nerdy his version was with like the weird little glasses and stuff. He's not a very typical Bruce Wayne, but yeah, he does it well.
soundtrack's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I like. It's weird because it's a Christmas movie as well.
Oh,
So when
yeah, it
anyone
is,
ever
isn't it?
says what's the best Christmas movie, and as they get halfway through saying die, that's when you punch them in the throat and go Batman Returns. And it's almost theatrical because it's almost shot like on one giant soundstage, isn't it? For a lot of it,
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
there's just like that Gotham Central Plaza.
Yep.
And so much that movie happens on there as well. And the penguin, like he's disgusting, isn't he? And the
Danny
fact they live in the
DeVito.
sewers and there's actual penguins and the penguins have got rockets on their back. What's
I like
not
the
to
fact that
about
Danny
that
DeVito's
movie?
pretty much the same character in Batman Returns as he is in in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's pretty much the same character, isn't he?
I can imagine Penguin waking up like wrapped up in a children's play park area, drunk. Like, it's very believable.
You
Yeah.
had no idea I was going to say that, did you?
No.
That came out of left field. You're
I
like,
thought you were going to
"What?"
do Batman Begins as your favourite, to be
No,
honest.
and then I'd say Batman Begins.
Yeah,
my last
yeah.
favourite.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
Adam?
That's the best. Can we just say categorically, Batman Begins is the best origin story
yes, easily.
Ever
of any of the movies.
of any movie.
Specifically, the best of all the DC origins, and probably still better than most of the Marvel ones. Although the first Iron Man is a very good origin.
It is a very
film.
good one.
So-
Spider-Man feels like it's good, but then the second
It's
one's
so
so much better. It's not that good, is it? There's probably a really good supercut of Spider-Man 1 and 2 as one film.
Yeah, like a 4-minute version.
Make a fan edit of that. But yeah, Batman Begins is just it's top movie.
Yeah.
I just have a trouble with the editing in it. It's really choppy, really, really choppy. And I wish that there was a kind of a director's cut where he'd been given the chance to space out his scenes a little more. It feels like he's had to cut the movie down quite considerably.
Yeah, it does. It does. The second half of the film more so than the first half, I think. But yeah, there is some
Other than
choppy
that-
editing.
Other than that, I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, both those movies, bar the first 20 minutes, are better than The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
ugh.
That first 20 minutes of The Dark Knight's incredible, but the rest of it's just not very good.
There are elements that I like of both, to be honest. But
I think Dark Knight's got pacing issues.
Can we
compared to
probably say
Batman
that
Begins.
nobody's going to say Batman and Robin, are they?
No.
definitely
Nice
not.
to meet you.
God.
How many ice puns can we get in 4 minutes of Schwarzenegger being on screen?
What about you, Adam?
I'd probably say the animated Cape Crusader film
Yeah.
is my favourite Batman film ever. Just because it's almost mocking all of the other films within it, while also paying homage to all of them.
Right.
But out of the live action films, it's between, and most people hate me for saying it, Batman Forever and Dark Knight. Like, for just enjoyment over, like Batman Begins is the best origin, but I don't enjoy watching it as much as I do The Dark Knight or
Dark Knight is phenomenal.
Batman
in
Forever.
my opinion. It is fantastic. It's the perfect Batman movie, I think.
Yeah,
In honesty,
It's not. It's too long.
I don't think it is.
It is.
I don't get a numb arse watching that, whereas certain other films that are that sort of length, I do get a numb arse because I'm more conscious of the fact that I've been sat still watching it for too long.
Hang on a sec.
I just think by the time they get to the boat bit, I'm just so tuned out.
Yeah, so I think, for me, although Ross struggles with certain aspects of Dark Knight and that, I think that and Batman Forever are my favourite. Batman Forever purely for the ridiculous fun of it and the fact that I love, like...
Also, Batman Forever's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Like it
not in a
is,
bad
like,
way. It's hilarious. Like, it's funny. Jim
Yeah,
Carrey's
yeah,
in it,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that
they
is
do good.
Jim Carrey
you know?
when he was literally at his apex.
Yep.
Like, it's a shame that Tommy Lee Jones was trying to be too wacky as Two-Face and they didn't make him more serious, and he just constantly flicks the coin and then doesn't like the results, he flicks it again, which is kind of not how Two-Face works. So he ends up like just constantly flicking the coin until he gets the result he wants, which is kind of like the Two-Faced aspect of it. And some of the story wasn't brilliant, but like Jim Carrey as the Riddler, it was
the thing
perfect.
Is, if they made that movie now, it would be too long. Because there's so many characters in that movie. Because you forget Poison Ivy and Robin have their origin stories in it as well.
Yeah,
true.
If you tried to do that now, that movie would be 3 hours and we'd moan about it because Zack Snyder would have fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas if it was done now by the right people and they took out Two-Face and just had Riddler in and had a decent story involving Riddler, and they got the guy who played Fraser's brother Niles to play the Riddler and did it in the gritty way that they're doing Batman films now, I think that would be really good. I think he'd be the perfect choice for Riddler, because Riddler's my favourite bad guy of
I
all
don't
bad
expect
guys.
anybody was expecting us to gush over Batman Forever as well.
No, but then I think a lot of people like it for the enjoyment of it more than they will admit.
I would be very interested to see how they would build the Riddler into the current franchise.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
Because
He would just be an internet geek.
do you
Yeah.
He
reckon?
would though, wouldn't he?
Maybe.
He would just be like some super fucking hacker.
And he'll be like overly like young with no real life experience. Whereas you could,
It'd just be Mr. Robot, basically.
Or-
or they could,
Technical boy from American Gods. Maybe.
they could just go the standard route and have it that it's, if say they used the guy that played Niles in Frasier, have him as someone that works at Wayne Tech, and because of all the stupid shit with Batman and Superman destroying cities during all their ridiculous fights with giant overblown sausage monsters and all the other crap that they're fighting, like maybe that might actually be a way of bringing him in,
Maybe.
like through there. You know, he's angry because Bruce Wayne hasn't helped him and his team after they lost everything in Metropolis, so he's come back to Gotham where he started, and he's like in a lower position job and wants to like basically
Do you know
take
who
out
you could
Batman.
cast as a Riddler?
Go on.
Danny Glover. Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald.
Sorry, didn't say
Yeah.
that. Donald Glover.
Yeah, if you're going
Because
for a
he
younger,
could just be the Riddler version of how he is in The Martian.
I was
Yeah.
He
confused
could
there
just
for a
be
moment.
a bit like, you know how he's
Yeah.
really autistic in The Martian, isn't he? But
Yep.
really bright. Just do that.
yeah. If you're going to go for that younger internet character or scientist character,
There you go.
Yeah,
Internet, we've just written the new film for you. We haven't. We've sketched out a character.
You're welcome.
so yeah, your favourite
It's Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. No.
Dark Knight.
It's Dark Knight, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say. Dark Knight Rises is a pile of crap.
Well, it's not so bad. I'm an apologist
Yeah,
for lots
for,
of
for
things.
everything, Chris.
yeah, for everything.
Just for things where I've got like something vested in the franchise.
No, but you can stop at the end of Dark Knight. You don't have to count
True.
Dark Knight Rises. You don't have to apologise for it and go, oh yeah, he did what he did in Inception, all the other stories, and told you the end at 5 minutes at the beginning. And
It gives
You know.
it needs some patience to get through that movie. I've got to say. But
it's the continuity in the first scene with the henchman of Bane just disappearing and reappearing from angle to angle inside the aeroplane. It's so badly done. I cannot watch the rest of the film.
It's
now.
so weird how you see shit like that.
No, but like when you're watching that scene, he's got 4 guys around him, and then no one, and then 4, and then no one,
Do
and
you
then
see
1, and then
this?
no one, and then 2, and all it is a move of the
I'm
camera.
going to go back and watch it
Like,
again.
Do you
yeah,
see
it's
this, or
awful.
do you then do you see this when you watch it, or do you see this on YouTube and then?
No,
when
I
you
see this
rewatch
when I
you
watch
can't
it.
unsee it.
No, I see it when I watch it.
See,
That's why if I go to see a film and I don't like it because of bad filmmaking, my eyes pick up on it and it annoys the fuck out of me. There are films that are like, I can give or take a bit of, like, suspend my belief and excuse a little bit of bad editing or, like, bad scene continuity if it doesn't fully ruin the story. But when you've got a scene where there's 4 henchmen around a guy helping him tie someone up, and as the camera changes from one side to the other, like no one's there,
Yep.
and things like that, that takes me out because it's so blatant. It drags me out.
See, I can't imagine Chris Nolan actually.
Letting that happen.
Yeah, unless,
but then
or,
they
although because
fly
it was
out.
a stunt shot, it might have been done by the second unit.
But then
Maybe.
they pull out of the
But then
back
he
of the
would have spotted it
plane.
in editing,
They,
wouldn't he?
yeah,
You'd
you'd
think
have thought so. But then they pull out the back of the plane as the bottom plane drops, and he's the only one hanging on the cable with someone attached to him. The other 4 guys who were on cables a second ago don't even exist. There's not even cables hanging down. It's like, well, where's all that gone? So yeah, I just find that film frustrating from the beginning.
To be
because of
honest, The
that.
Dark Knight's better than I give it credit for because
It's
just
not
a
Dark
Chris-
Knight
it's
Rises.
just a Chris Nolan film.
None of
So
that
I
would have
just
happened
en-
under Stanley
I
Kubrick.
just
would
cannot
it?
ever really like it out of principle. I've got it on Blu. I've got all 3 of them on Blu-ray. I've got loads of Chris Nolan
I
movies
don't
on
own-
Blu-ray.
I
I've got
don't
probably
own
got
the
more
third
of them
one.
than I haven't
Yeah.
got.
I've seen
this
those
point.
3 Batman movies more times than I can count. Honestly, all 3 of them.
But it's like I'm getting this argument with people about Lord of the Rings, mate. The Fellowship of the Ring's the best one, hands down.
Don't know. Never managed to
That's
get all
the
the way
first
through.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And
about
that's how I
same
feel
problem.
about.
Same problem as I had with the book. It's really heavily weighted in the middle. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's great.
So villains, obviously, I've just said Riddler's my favourite bad guy of all time, of all bad guys in anything. But he's also my favourite Batman bad guy.
Okay.
Do you have a particular favourite bad guy?
Really like Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Any others?
He's an interesting bad guy.
Isn't there one just called like? Can somebody bring up a list of the really shit Batman villains? Isn't there one called like Calendar Man?
Yeah,
Oh, there is. Yeah, that's
there's
true.
Calendar Man. There's
He's my favourite because he's just Microsoft Outlook.
there's a lot of the guys that were in original comics that had ridiculous names that were brought into the Adam West TV show. Some that started in the Adam West show and then Adam West Batman and went into the comics. And a lot of them have been in the Lego Batman movie recently. So you got like Tutankhamun, little King Tut as he's called.
Has Calendar Man been replaced by Clippy from Microsoft Office? Like when they retired him, he became a Batman villain.
Amazing.
Do we want bad villains or bad villain names or like all villains?
No, I just want the really shit ones.
Right, here we go. The Ventriloquist. Condiment
Very
King.
good. Yeah, Condiment King, that's the one, yeah.
Sterling Silversmith. He's probably
What?
pretty good at smithing silver.
Just throws coins and spoons at you.
Captain Stingery.
What?
Which I
The
suppose
receptionist.
it's supposed to sound like Stingray, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
The Ten-Eyed Man.
Just wears a lot of glasses.
Kite Man.
Yeah.
The Maid of Wood Killer. Got wood.
Oh, dear.
Baby Doll.
Baby Doll's quite a scary one.
Polka Dot Man.
Man.
Polka Dot Man's a good one. Literally can, like, chuck a dot at a wall and jump through it.
King of Cats. Death Man. Mirror Man.
Yeah.
Penny Plunderer. Sewer King.
Sewer King. I don't know why that's funny.
You're a Sewer King. Egghead.
Yeah.
Signal Man. Crazy Quilt. Maxie Zeus and King Tut.
Yeah, there's King Tut for you.
Sweet Tooth. And the Eraser.
Yeah, and the eraser literally has an old-fashioned pencil eraser for a head.
He's a pencil body with a, yeah.
He's got, like, a pencil-coloured, like,
Switching.
yellow and blue-lined
There's a picture of him,
pinstripe
look.
suit.
That's fucking mental.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing as a Lego figure. But as a character, it's just insane.
That's questionable.
If you watch the Lego Batman, actually, all of these characters all come out at the beginning, and it makes a load of fun about how bad some of them are.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah, they actually
it says,
chuck them
yeah,
all
that
in
really
there.
is a character. Yeah.
Yeah,
very good.
Condiment King's there, going, I squirt ketchup and mustard. And then everyone's like looking at him laughing. He's like, I'm a real guy.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll say Lego Batman is my favourite current Batman movie because I had loads of fun watching that.
I think it's in my top 3.
It's a good and very good. And I look forward to a sequel. What a cast! Ridiculous cast.
Yeah, Billy, what's his name from Star Wars?
Billy D. Williams.
That's it.
I remembered
I
it
can
that
never
time.
remember his name. It's really bad.
Let's do a quick rundown.
Yeah, he's in
What's
it.
the name of his co-pilot in Return of the Jedi?
No idea.
Oh,
Fish face?
No, it's not. It's the Chinese-looking guy.
No, he's completely the opposite. He's got really big eyes.
Okay.
Nyan Nub.
Nyan Nub.
Is he the one that goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, Batman
And what's
cast.
the name of his little thingy from Empire Strikes Back who's got the computer head?
Don't know.
I do know.
Nub.
Go on, what is it?
Lobot.
Lobot.
In the comics, because they've done like the proper canon comics now, Lando's got Lobot's his mate. And he's got that thing's an implant, and he's a hacker, and so obviously him and Lando get up to nefarious.
I thought they had that. He had that put in
scoundrelness.
as like a. That's what they did as a security thing to be linked to the city, so they could tell if anyone was coming in to try and steal the gas they were mining and stuff. That's what I thought it was. But
No, correct. I might be right. He might be ex-Imperial, and he used to be able to he's like a cyborg, so he used to be able to jack into the Imperial network and work for the Empire, but he becomes a hacker.
Right.
And then at the end of the comic, he stays in a hack long enough that they don't get caught, but in essence sacrifices himself.
As
So he basically at that point is just Lando's robot. That's a human.
Cool.
That's why he doesn't speak in the film.
Hey, a quick
Amazing.
rundown of the cast from Lego Batman. So Will Arnett as Batman and
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. And you've got Michael Cera, Rosario Dawson, Ralph Fiennes, Apple's Siri, Zach Galifianakis, Conan O'Brien,
Yeah.
Doug Benson, Billy D. Williams, Eddie Izzard. Fucking loads
A lot
of
of
people.
animated films have casts like that, and you just don't realise.
Yeah, maybe.
More so
Like
now
the
than
Lego
ever
one's got
before.
it,
Like
hasn't it, as well?
years ago, like animated films would be mainly like the people that you would have heard of from things like Ren and Stimpy and the Animaniacs and stuff like that. Would be famous voice actors, but no one knew who they were. Whereas now they're just more than ever they're using just really famous people for the whole cast rather than just for the main two. Because like things like Fern Gully, it was just the main two characters that were famous voices.
Yeah.
And then everyone
But
else
also
was
Fern
kind of
Gully's
pretty unknown.
shit.
Ah, that's all right. It's better than Avatar.
It is Avatar. So, what about comic books? Do you have a favourite Batman comic book, Ross?
I haven't read a lot. Probably Dark Knight, because it's just one of the best comic books ever.
Yeah,
Dark
okay.
Knight Returns.
Alan Moore.
Sorry.
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. The
Frank
that,
Miller, yeah.
that one. The other one.
Yeah.
The other wizard.
Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing comic.
Like it transcends Batman, doesn't it?
A lot of people were really angry when it came out and did not like it because it was very different
Yeah.
for a Batman comic. But I read it from cover to cover and I don't have anything bad to say about it. I don't
At
know
this
why
point, it's
people
bigger
hate it.
than it's. At this, it's probably cool to hate it now, in the same way
Yeah.
as that people fucking bash on Super Mario and shit. Like,
Yeah.
It's been
But
quite influential, though, isn't it?
that's what I'm saying. It's bigger than Batman, isn't it?
Right, yeah,
At this
okay.
point, it's way as a comic, it's way more important. The reason it's like always in the top 3 of every top 100.
Well,
list of
also
every comic ever.
it's the
like-
reason that we've got the grittier Batman nowadays.
And certain elements of the character. Like
Yeah.
the big armoured suit for the Batman vs. Superman movie, for instance.
Did when did it come out?
85.
So that's Tim
From a-
Burton obviously read that and went, "I've got to make that Batman movie like that."
Yeah, I think it was early 80s, definitely. I've got the originals at home, but I can never remember the date, which is really bad.
Have you got them as single issues?
Some of the earlier ones, yeah, I didn't get the whole lot. I only got the first 2, I think, and then I got like a trade paperback, but the original first print of the trade paperback.
I've got that really sick copy of 300. It's like a tabletop book.
1986.
Coffee table book.
86,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Just while we're talking
You're
about
close.
comics.
Sorry, go on.
While we were talking about Frank Miller comics from similar era, I was like, I've got the large version of 300. I don't even think it's a particularly old print of it.
Just the old
It's
large
It's just big. It's
hardback.
like about. It's bigger than probably a bit bigger than A3.
It's bigger
Right.
than most people's coffee tables.
It's not quite that big, but it's.
Well, most people nowadays have tiny coffee tables.
Yeah.
But that
if you've
thing's
got an
bigger than
A4
normal
size
book.
coffee table,
Yeah.
What are you saying about my coffee table?
It's tiny.
Fuck you.
it's good. A lot of dick in it though. A lot of dick in it. Swinging about.
Right, so
What's your favourite comic then?
it is a Neil Gaiman
Of course
graphic
it is.
novel.
It's
Yeah.
never going to be anything else, is
Because
it?
I fucking love Neil Gaiman.
Go on.
But the guy's just so fucking genius. He comes at you from different angles, which is always great.
What
so,
was it called?
Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader?
Oh, okay. I
And
don't know if
it's,
I've ever read that.
Go and find it. It's bloody amazing. So it's...
Do you like Neil Gaiman coming at you from different angles?
I love it. I dream of it.
Oh, Batman Bukaki.
Bat khaki. Right,
Yeah.
so...
You've always got to, Good joke, dad joke.
So
I'll have to have a
it's
read.
post Batman's death. So
Right.
it's everybody's gathered for his funeral, including all the bad guys and everybody that knows him, and it's their take on what they perceive Batman to be.
Right.
And there are some fucking genius ones. My favourite one being Alfred's story,
Yeah.
which is basically Batman, or Bruce Wayne, is a very mentally ill person who Alfred takes care of.
Yeah.
And to keep him occupied, Alfred hires guys to dress up as crazy bad guys so that Batman's got something to do in the evenings, and sends
okay.
Batman off to deal with them
Yeah.
and gives him loads of praise.
So are
for-
these all individual stories that are unlinked, as if they're
That's right, yeah.
different versions of what happens
Yeah.
at the funeral?
So they are
and-
totally different
right,
perspectives.
okay.
Unreliable narrative.
Nice.
And they're very good. So yeah, that particular one is just amazing. It's
I'll have
really
to go and have a
beautifully
read
handled.
of that. Yeah. I
So,
think I think for me it's probably between Dark Knight Returns and the particular issue of the Judge Dredd crossover with Batman involving the Riddler.
So it's not Judgment on Gotham.
No, that one's amazing, but I actually prefer
There's
the one
another
with
one?
the Riddler. Yeah, there's 3.
Oh really?
They did 3, yeah. There's a collection of them that you
Are
can
they all
get.
by the same guy?
Yeah, it's the same artist throughout. I don't know if the writers are the same for each one, but they're really good stories, all of them. But yeah, I think it's between Dark Knight Returns and the Riddler crossover with Judge Dredd.
Batman Incorporated was quite fun.
Is that one where he turns it into a business?
Tries to
Yeah.
not a business, a franchise.
Yeah, because he came back from time.
Oh yeah. Talking
Yeah.
of shit Batman
Yeah.
comics, don't read the ones where he gets shot with a time bullet and gets sent back to caveman times.
And then leaves
Is it not good?
The ridiculous thing is, while he's missing and everyone thinks Bruce Wayne is dead, the story of Batman and Robin with Batman being Dick Grayson and Robin being Damian Wayne fighting crime together is superb. Like, really good story.
Okay.
Like, I think it's Grant Morrison. Really, really well put together. I really like the stories. But then in a later volume, it's like, oh, we found this thing and we've been left all these clues by Bruce Wayne, who's been travelling through time, leaving little things to remind everyone that Batman exists so that we can realise that he's stuck in time. And it's like, oh, fuck off, you've ruined it now.
Fair enough. Okay, you don't know when it's from, that one?
Recently.
It's quite a recent one.
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
4 years ago. Yeah, they're really good up until that point where it's the road to Bruce Wayne or whatever they called it. I don't know.
It was not. Is it called? It's not called Batman Returns, is it?
No, it's called
Return of Batman. Or
The
something.
Return of Bruce Wayne or something.
Okay.
Or, yeah, it's awful. But the Batman and Robin comics that were going along at the same time. Because the thing is, they reset the DC universe just before that.
Right.
And then you had
So
that
the new
storyline.
52 starts straight after Final Crisis.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Right.
then, so it's going on while that's going on, the new 52. But then halfway through them doing the storyline and going into the Batman Incorporated, they then reset the universe again, which was really confusing.
There you go. Happens a lot.
Yeah, and DC especially.
Absolutely. It's that bloody excuse we mentioned earlier on. They use
'Cause
it
they're
way
comics.
too often.
Yeah.
I've got loads of Batman comics and they're all worthless
Yeah.
because they're all from the new 52.
So everybody's got them.
Pretty shit. Not even worth selling and put them away in a box.
No.
Fair enough.
Hang
It
on
might be
to
worth
them
something in
later
about
on.
100 years.
Decorate your wall with them. Cut the covers off and
One,
paste
it's
them
not
up.
my wall. 2, I'm an adult.
I've done it on my wall.
Oh,
3, I have to think of my girlfriend in these sort of transactions as well.
You what?
I have a
No, you don't.
space.
Yeah,
I have a
don't you
I
have
have a
your man
special
cave?
space. Yeah.
Yeah, well then do it in there.
No, it's full of Star Wars pictures. There's literally no room on the wall
And the
because there's so
secret
many Star Wars
comes out.
pictures.
What about best Batman games then, Ross?
Ooh.
It's probably so either I could cheat and say the Batman Arkham remaster because it comes with the first, like the new version of it comes with comes with Arkham Asylum and Arkham City,
That's a nice bundle.
all like remastered 1080p 60 frames per second.
Yeah. Arkham Asylum was good. I enjoyed that. Arkham City, I just found annoying for the first hour and then just couldn't be bothered.
I think probably I'll say it again the same way Batman Begins. I think probably Arkham Asylum's the better of those 3 games.
Yeah. I don't
bigger those
I don't
games
like
get,
the fact
the
you
less-
can't jump up tiny ledges, even though he's Batman. But
it's a
really
Metroidvania
well...
in that respect, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you unlock you get a new gadget, and it gives you access to more of the.
Yeah. It's just annoying that you can't go up certain little curbs just because you can't jump. So you have to walk round a section.
Like the tank bits in
But,
the latest one's really good, but it's ruined by the tank bits.
I've not played it yet.
Yeah, I played a little bit on PS4 around with mates.
As soon as I buy a PlayStation 4, Chris, I'll lend you the.
As soon as you buy one.
You're buying Chris a PS4 now? Is that hot? You're offering to buy us PS4s?
Yeah, I'm so
Handshake.
hot. I don't know what's going on. I think I just bought 2 PlayStation 4s.
How did the podcast go? I bought them both PS4s. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
We came out of this one
Adam,
all
you
right.
couldn't put up with, like, even if I bought 2 PlayStation 4s and went, right, they belong to the podcast, you would have to podcast every week. It would be worth it, would it?
What? I'm confused by what?
Like, if I bought another 2 PlayStations and went, these are especially just so we have things to talk about on the podcast,
Yeah.
but they come with one caveat. You have to be on the podcast. You'd be like, oh,
But I am
can't
on the
do it then.
podcast.
Yeah.
I work
Sometimes.
some Mondays, so I can't always do it.
Well, burn
But-
the library down.
Well,
What
I
would
don't
Batman
work
do?
there in the evenings.
You want to know what my best Batman game is?
Go on.
It's the bloody Batman 1991 on Spectrum and Commodore 64.
The
Pla-
Batman the movie one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Platform elements, really quite difficult.
I-
And
But very typical thing for games of that
yeah,
period, where they were all made by the same publisher, Ocean, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
they literally functioned by buying licenses.
Yep.
And then you would have each section of the game would be just like a completely different game type.
yeah. So you had
Yeah.
a driving section with
Yeah.
firing.
Where you have to fire
the
the
bat rope
catapults
out
to go
to-
around
yeah.
the corner.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the weird Batman game that's in the same style as Head Over Heels?
What's Head Over Hills?
Head Over Heels was a 3D isometric game, like so the
Oh shit! Yes, I know
was
exactly
like
what
this.
you mean. Yeah,
like that's what the level looked like.
Yeah.
And to people who are
He's holding a square thing up at an angle so it looks isometric.
yes.
people who don't understand what isometric is or are listening to a podcast, just Google it. But there's a Batman game that's like literally the same as Head Over Heels, and
Right.
it's
I have-
fucking mental.
I have
and there's
played it.
no but it is just Camp Batman.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think mine's the Batman Return game I had it on Amiga, but I think it was on Nintendo and Sega. But the Nintendo one was way too tame, and the Sega one just had badder graphics
Right.
at the time. So I was quite lucky to have the version on Amiga that was better graphics.
Don't think I ever
but
played it.
It's
To be
pretty
honest,
much the
the
same as
version
the
on-
Batman one by Ocean.
Right.
It
You
was
can
literally
pretty
the
much
next
say the
movie
version
one,
on
so
the Amiga was the better version for every game ever.
at the time.
At the time.
yeah.
Like, because actually, even back then, PCs, like,
Well,
Amiga had more colour and sound than PCs, didn't they?
Yeah, I had a 500 plus with 1200 add-on drive and stuff like that. It was ridiculous, like Amiga techs plugged into each other. But that, yeah, I got, I think Batman Returns game I got in a double floppy disk pack, which had that and the Blues Brothers game.
Yep.
Like, for some reason. But yeah, Batman Returns, I think, for me.
Cool. Right, okay. Would you like a nice anecdote to finish off our
Yeah.
Adam West Batman special section?
Definitely.
Okay.
Is it a nice one?
It's a lovely one.
Oh.
So, Adam West, obviously, you bought us Batman. I think, for me, as far as I'm concerned, if it weren't for you on Saturday mornings playing Batman, well, I wouldn't have gotten into Batman, and it wouldn't have been such an iconic figure for me.
Me and
So-
my mate on the floating bridge, I won't say his name so I can let people, when they go across on the floating bridge or the chain ferry down here on the Isle of Wight, they can try and work out which person it is. But me and him used to dress up as Batman and Robin and run around the garden. And his
Cool.
uncle used to dress up as Catwoman.
Great.
Like, basically just had some little black ears, and we used to tell him to go and be Catwoman.
Weirdly, because we haven't really spoke about the TV show, I couldn't care less about it.
Really? Never?
Never got into it.
I don't think everyone does,
I've
but
got
I
it
think
all on my
a
hard
lot
drive.
of people do.
If you want to borrow it.
I think probably I would love it now.
Watch the Cape Crusader animated film, the modern one with Adam West in. See what you think of that and have a laugh with that, and then watch some of the
Ross
old
is
school
not going to
stuff.
watch Batman 66. You know why? Because you can't get it in 4K.
Yeah, I can. I don't have... No, yeah, I would. I don't even have a 4K TV, so...
Yeah, try the Cape Crusader movie and then go back and watch some of the episodes.
1080p is good enough for me at the moment.
I
I'm
don't
alright.
think you'd even get it in 1080p.
720 I'm fine with.
You might get it in 4
No,
something.
they've re-released it, haven't they?
Have they?
Recently.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, it's been in
rescanned, hasn't it?
DVD
Okay.
and Blu-ray
Fucking hell,
recently.
they've done Star Trek, haven't they?
Yeah.
True.
Star Trek, the original series, you can get in a really good height.
If you can get Buck Rogers, you can get Batman 66.
Right, anyway,
Bitty,
like
bitty, bitty.
Adam West anecdote. So,
Yeah.
if you go to Sun Valley, Idaho, which is where...
Buffy was
Sorry?
that where Buffy happened?
I don't know.
Don't know. I'm just guessing.
Anyway, this is where Adam...
Buffy's in a made-up place called Sunnydale,
Sunnydale.
Okay.
which is named after Sunnyvale.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So,
Anyway.
so if you go to a real place called Sun Valley in Idaho in America, which is where one of Adam West's homes is,
Yeah.
and you open the phone book and search for Adam West, you'll see C. Wayne Bruce brackets millionaire. So you go to Wayne Bruce millionaire, and it says, please consult crime fighters section in the yellow pages. You go and get the yellow pages out and open it up and go to the crime fighters section, and in there it says see Batman in the white pages. So you go and pick up the white pages, and in the white pages it says go to the phone book and see Adam West.
So he's paid out
Yeah.
to be able to have all of that cycle of silliness
Yeah.
in the phone books in his local area
Yeah.
where he's got a house.
Yep.
That's fucking mental.
I love it.
That's the thing. Much like there's other actors that were in stuff who then I think took themselves less seriously after a while, but I think he got it straight away.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone loves him. He is quite happy to take the mick out of himself and everything he's done, as well as do some serious stuff. Whereas, like, William Shatner, took him a few years to realise that people found him funny, and then became who he is. David Hasselhoff, again, took him a while to realise that he was funny, whereas Adam West got it from the beginning. And I think that's why people just love him so much. He's got that. That's quite a twisted sense of humour to have that cycle in the phone
Absolutely love
books. Love it.
Well done, Adam West. You're a good guy. Right, computer games. Do an ever so brief game section.
Chris spent some time in my darkest recesses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you call your what?
My darkest recesses.
What are you saying on air? Jesus
Well,
Christ,
no,
dude.
I don't know. I don't like to call it. I don't like to give it a name. It's just the top floor of my house. Is in the
Okay,
loft space.
Your place for you.
It's my if I'm going to be proper, it's my office.
It's his
I
man.
have a computer, and when I work from home,
You work in that
I
room.
work in that room.
And the
fact
rest of
it's
the time you play games.
full of video games.
It's his
and
manhole. That's
It's
what
got
it
a
is.
massive TV and about
So you climbed into his
I
manhole.
spent some time in Ross's manhole the other day. Yeah.
Right.
10 consoles. It's also a spare room as well. The
is
sofa
it?
folds down into a bed so people can stay
Aw.
over.
Well, that's very nice.
Let's not broadcast that though. No addresses. Right.
But he was like, fucking hell. There's an Amiga CD32 down there, just stuck on a shelf. I was like, yeah, it's the best way to play every Amiga game ever because you
Yeah.
just get them all on CD.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I've got sort of games that's on tape and shit like that. And Amiga games. And then Chris was like, are they real Amiga games in those big boxes? Yeah, mate.
My God. What are they
I haven't
doing?
got that many. I've only got about 20, but they're 20 really good games.
Yeah, I've only got like I think 6 Amiga games still, and my Amiga.
Like, I'm not one of those collectors who just collects
everything.
everything. I've
No.
got this spreadsheet of like when games come out, I put them on the spreadsheet, and I'm like, yeah, I'd quite like that, and it's split into columns by console, but then also highlighted.
He says I've got autism with sci-fi categories.
But then
There you
they're
go.
different colour depending on how much they need to be had.
Everyone's a little autistic.
Well, they're not. Yeah, hang on, they're not. There's not like a huge colour scheme. There's red. Red means I've got it. Black means I should probably get it, and no, sorry, other way. Green means I've got it, so I just change the colour to green when I've got it. Black, it just goes on the list black. But then when it's an absolute must-have that defines that platform, then it gets changed to red. And then so I don't try and buy all the black games. I just try and get all the red games.
Amazing.
crazy.
But that gets really expensive. Like
I literally
like Nintendo
just
Wii games.
buy
Like,
what
they're
I
so
think
expensive.
I like. Yeah,
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like how much they
hold
hold their
value.
price.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I've got like I think probably about 60 games for my PS3, and then I've probably got about 40 games for my PS2, and then I've got like 20 games. They're like with my PS2, it's the games I've kept, and then my PS1, I've only got 20 games that I've kept, and then like going back to my Amiga, like I say, I've probably got about 18 at most.
But I never trade in or sell games because there's no point. They're not worth anything, and they don't take up a lot of space.
I've always traded stuff in when I know that it's not going to be one that I want to keep. So like I've kept all my GTA games. I've kept certain games I know I'll go back and play. But anything else, like once I've played something, if I go, that was enjoyable, but I'm never going to play it again, I trade it in quite quickly because then I can still get something for it, even if it just covers like buying a cheap Blu-ray of something that I really want.
Fair enough.
Like Paper Mario on the Nintendo GameCube, $57.99.
Really? Wow.
Jesus.
That's buy it now, so that's definitely the price you can get it for.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed Nintendo, talking about them,
Yep.
they released ARMS this week.
Oh.
Do you know the big springy arm boxing game?
Looks fucking
Well,
ridiculous.
like a
looks
shit
weird.
version of monkey boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks weird, but apparently, according to the reviews I'm seeing, it's very good, and it's a bit deeper than you might expect.
Like what you're saying, it's a bit deeper than Wii boxing was.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah.
I such
can't-
memories of Wii boxing.
You
don't
can't
know.
beat somebody who just goes apeshit at Wii
No.
boxing.
That's why I like the UFC trainer on PS3 with the Move controllers, because you can like.
That's a deep cut.
What?
That's a pretty deep cut, that, isn't it? Like who? I didn't even know there even was one. So
Oh,
fuck me.
I've got it at home. I use
You got
it
Move
to-
controllers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I use them to train
you're
with.
halfway to a PSVR.
Yeah.
You just need a VR headset and a PS4 and a camera now.
You plug one onto your leg through a harness, and then you either hold the other one or strap it to your shoulder with a harness, and then it takes you through the positions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing and all that. But because of where the moves are, you can lay on the floor in the positions and practice the movements, or stand and do punch bag work and do tyre flipping, and it fully registers every movement of your body brilliantly.
Wow.
See, that's a shame. Thinking about it, I know the problem is it's dead in the water because they took it out of the console, but imagine that would have worked really well on the Kinect. I know they did.
Yeah.
Like I know there's some of the Beachbody workouts that are available on the Xbox.
Well, it was
I
on.
think
It was
the-
on Xbox as well, like
yeah,
through
and
Kinect,
worked with the
but
Kinect, so you didn't need
yeah.
the controllers or anything.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't as good on the Kinect at picking up the movement though.
But the new Kinect is way better.
Yeah, I
than
haven't
the
seen
original
the-
Kinect, but
yeah, I
they
haven't
just
seen the
don't do
new
it
one.
anymore, do
Yeah.
they? They killed it.
Fair enough. Just wasn't making money.
No,
No, they just it added £100 to the cost of the console, didn't it? Or
it's a lot.
Well,
so they took it out. And
Let's face it, they're having trouble selling consoles. So
Yeah,
So
but like it's
bring one out that costs £450.
absolutely.
like I think that's the thing. Like the Nintendo thing of doing these games with movement controllers. Unless it's like specifically got a reason for, like with the UFC trainer, it's helping me with my health. You know,
Games
I'm,
can
I'm
just be
doing
games,
it
mate.
for, yeah, but I can't play
Have
games.
you been
which
on
done all
VR
that.
yet?
No.
Go on PlayStation VR and it's like a life-changing experience.
It's still not going to make me want to play like
Mate, it will make you
Wii
want...
style Nintendo.
No,
though.
it will. It'll make you go, I could just be... You'll just play it and then you'll go, the possibilities are limitless. Like, you won't go, that's a gimmick, I never want to play that. You go, I want it to be 20 times better than it is, and I want to be Spider-Man and Batman and everything.
Yeah, but then that's
I
not
can't
gonna
be in real life.
That's not going to make me want to go and play tennis on the Wii, though, is it?
No, but tennis in VR would just be amazing.
Yeah,
Like
VR.
room scale,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's two types of VR. You've got like what they call room scale, where you move around.
Yeah.
And some of the better, I think the Vive, I think the Oculus has got it now, but you have these sensors and you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can scale out a room.
Wow. So you'd
And
have to
then-
have a big empty room.
Or
So
you
you
can
can
get
have-
one of those harness things, can't you, with the track walker underneath
Yeah,
you?
that's
That looks interesting, but probably quite annoying at the same time. It's like a round thing
but
you
yeah, like-
stand on.
Right.
PSVR is just incredible. Just like
Yeah.
it's still early, but you'd go on it, and I have to borrow it off my friend's got one. I have to just
Yeah,
borrow
my
it off
mate's
him.
got one and said that the X-Wing VR mission on Battlefront 1 was really good.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's great fun. You know, you're just flying an X-wing in
But
VR.
that's not the thing that
From the cockpit.
that's not the thing that blows your mind. The
Not
weird
from
things-
outside.
The weird,
You could be R2.
the weird thing that blew my mind was a 3D platformer in the style of like Super Mario.
Right.
But you're the camera,
Oh, okay.
so you can.
So you're still
literally-
controlling the character as normal, but you can look
You can
anywhere.
move the character wherever you like, yeah. But if he goes up to a wall and you go, I can't get up there, you can literally move around the wall. And so you would move your head like round, and you'd lean back, and then you'd be able to see a completely different way up through the level and stuff.
Okay.
So like things you don't think will be really good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you'd think everything in VR would have to be first person. It doesn't.
No.
And then experiences
that-
like the diving
Was
bell,
it-
just going down in the shark cage is just
Ruse?
fucking amazing.
Was
and
it
stuff.
Ruse, the game where they tried to using the Move and the Kinect and stuff? It came out on both consoles, and it was like a war battle game. Like you had like in the trailer, there was like Dunkirk, and it was on a table, and they were like moving everything.
Oh right.
Like that'd be great in VR to actually be over a battlefield and actually be able to like select units with your hand.
Yeah, like any
you know.
God game actually.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Probably something a little bit more simpler than Company of Heroes, but like scale it back. So something. Remember
Like Total War.
Black and White.
Yeah,
Ever heard of Black and White?
Yeah,
God game by Peter Molyneux, but
yeah.
that would work really well. But yeah, you just need to play
Command
VR.
and Conquer
Like
stuff
cockpit
like that
games
in VR
are
would be great.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like driving, where you can just look everywhere is ridiculous.
Yeah, if you could get a nice movement seat that goes with the movement of the game and shunts occasionally, and you can set up a steering wheel, gear stick, and brakes and pedals and stuff.
But it
That'd
ain't
be
going
great
anywhere
in VR,
anytime
but-
soon.
But it's got like super, like up-to-date graphics and things. That was the initial issue with virtual reality, wasn't it, back in the day?
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not PS4. It's you lose yourself in the immersion so much it doesn't become an issue.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Like I took the headset off after about 30 minutes. I was just like, this is real. This is real life. So what was that?
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to try it.
I do want to have a go. Yeah.
Is the game Everything VR?
What?
Do you know the game Everything?
No.
You don't know it?
Sorry, No.
Okay. So there's a game called Everything. I think it's out now because I've seen some reviews kicking around. Sounds pretty interesting. You can literally play as everything. So
What?
be it a single-celled amoeba, a traffic cone, a car, a bear, whatever.
What?
And it's
That
just,
sounds insane.
It's about life and connectivity.
okay.
And it's not your
Typical.
everyday typical game.
Good.
It's a bit more kind of
It'll probably fail miserably, and then the next one will come along by someone else taking that idea on and make a better.
well, go and
because
have
that
a look
seems
at
to be
it.
the way. Look at Little Big Planet.
Yeah,
The
true.
first one was great, and then other people kind of did similar things.
Yeah, diluted it.
Yeah.
The reason I bring this game up though is the opening trailer for it, which is a 10-minute odd
Right.
opening, has been nominated for the. Oh no, it is eligible to be nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah, because they occasionally games do get nominated,
I
don't
think
they?
this is
Don't
the
always
first
get
one.
into the.
I think this is the first one.
I think some.
Well,
games
we have
been-
BAFTAs, don't we? They have video game BAFTAs.
Right.
Oh, right. That's probably what I'm thinking of then. Yeah.
But yeah, for this opening to be nominated for a Short Film Academy Award, that's a new thing. But yeah, go and have a look, see what you think, and tell me if you really think it's worth the nomination. Because personally, I don't.
Oh, okay. I'll
So
go and
yeah,
have a look.
links
Yeah.
below. Right.
And people say video games aren't art.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Did you guys see the trailer for The Last Night?
Fucking hell, did I?
Yeah.
We spoke about it last week.
What, the
didn't we?
Transformers movie?
No.
Sorry.
Don't do that to me. No, yeah, I'm so annoyed that it's going to be a timed Xbox exclusive. Like, it won't be out on anything else for a while, whether that's 6 months or a year. I don't know, but that's so annoying.
So it
'Cause
looks so good, doesn't it?
So good. It's like
Hey, it doesn't matter if it comes out
I
on
was trying to
PlayStation. You ain't going to
remember.
play it because you ain't got a PlayStation 4.
no, but I might do by then.
Don't kid yourself.
Well, I saw one for 160 quid the other day, so I'm a little bit more tempted now because that's more within my acceptable limit of a console. So I might actually get one.
So I'm just watching the trailer now while you guys chat.
But yeah, it kind of has that. I was trying to remember what the game was called. I kept thinking of Pitfall, but it was Flashback.
No, it's Flashback.
Yeah,
Because weirdly, it was weird because me and Chris the other day, because he was like, "What's all this PlayStation 4 shit?" And I showed him the Another World remastered
Rad.
on PS4.
Nice.
And that's a very similar game as well.
Yeah. I just Flashback cross Blade Runner. It just looks
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and the sound was beautiful.
And it was the most incredible looking game ever, and it's just pixel art.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I really want to see that. And the problem is, I want to get a PS4 because there's more games I'm interested in getting for that when I do get an upgrade. But I can't afford to buy both consoles. So
What do you mean both consoles?
Well, like an Xbox as well.
Yeah, but you just wouldn't. You'd go without the Xbox, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's annoying because it's only on that, and then I don't know how long it'll be before it comes out on the other.
This looks incredible. I'm going to
link
this trailer
doesn't it?
below.
Yeah.
So, did you say this is Xbox exclusive?
For the moment, yeah.
Is
it a timed exclusive?
Well, it's coming out on PC as well, so it's not platform exclusive.
Okay. So yeah, it'll probably end up coming out on PlayStation. Well, unless they just do PC and Xbox, because it'll be Microsoft, won't it? They own both of them, so.
Cool.
Yeah, looks amazing though.
Right. Any more game stuff to talk about, Ross?
No, that's it really. Go and watch the video for that game.
Ooh. Let's do a super quick bit of real world news and say goodbye, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Humans die in podcast studios.
It's like being a dog in a car where they're not letting the window open. And we've got a window open.
This is true. We need a fan. Real world news. Right, Ross, you like Pokemon?
Yeah, the Pokemons are alright.
So there's been a goat born without eyes and with human-looking lips in... oh shit, where is it?
Is it in the Himalayas?
It is actually. It's in India. It's in some little village in India. And yeah, the people have said, it's fucking evil, and some guy said that he's gonna raise it. It looks like a Pokemon. You've got to go and see a picture of this thing. I'll stick a link below.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a very, very bizarre looking little thing. So that's nice. And fucking fidget spinners.
What about them?
Oh, well, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Well,
yeah,
for about another 3 weeks.
Same as
they'll be dust
yo-yos,
in the wind, dude.
Same as yo-yos, same as pogs, same as like any of the things, except these started
Rubik's
out as
cubes.
something for people with autism, and then they've just become popular with other kids because obviously kids have seen the kids with autism with them.
The Christians have gotten their hands on the whole principle,
right?
And they're using the whole 3 weighted balance thing to describe the Holy Trinity.
Fucking hell, I'm going to make 4-sided fidget spinners now.
You can get 18-sided ones and all sorts. And people have someone built a Batman one out of metal that's about 2 foot long and put 3 giant fucking spinny bits in him, attached it to the wall, and then put a sander drill on the side of it and made it spin so it was going so fast that it'd just cut your hand off if you put your hand near it. It's insane. There's ridiculous
ones.
You could do with
one
YouTube.
of those attached to your microphone stand.
Yeah, so
you're getting a different mic stand next week. You're going back to your old floppy one that falls apart. Well, because you keep smacking it.
No, that's Ross's foot. He keeps putting it on the bottom. It's nothing to do with me. I did smack it then. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, what I thought when I heard that bit of news was that, do you know, in Tibet, the Buddhists have like prayer wheels, the things that they spin. Right?
Yeah.
Inside of those prayer wheels is a long line.
Tiny little fidget spinner.
No, a long parchment with loads of prayers written on it. And the idea is, when you spin the prayer wheel, all of those prayers are said. So, fidget spinner. If I can carve it around the edge of a fidget spinner and there you go. Buddhists, if you're listening, I've got this new thing for you.
Well, there's techno-Buddhists now, so they'd be well on that.
There you go. Fidget spinners for Buddhists. If you're selling fidget spinners, there's an untapped market there. You're welcome.
Amazing.
Cool. Right, let's get out of here.
Could anyone tell me how to get lots of sodium back in my body?
Bananas.
Don't like bananas.
Just raw salt.
Yeah, just drink some salt water.
Yeah, I just will probably
go
have
and jump
some
in the
salt
sea.
water. Sometimes I have too much salt water and it gives me a bit of a runny poo. I make that mistake from time to time.
I'd say where can we find you, Ross, but it's obviously on the toilet. Adam, where can we find it?
The usual places, Adam Catcher Arts on Facebook and YouTube, and then when Ross isn't kicking a microphone into my face, generally here with these guys.
That just reminded me of the world's one of the the classic, absolute classic videos on the internet that are so old now. When you think about it, the one with the German guy who just gets the fucking microphone slammed down his throat.
Oh yeah, 'cause someone knocks it and the whole microphone goes down his throat.
What?
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's like singing in a band, and there's a pissed up person. It's like at a wedding, they just bang
Knocks
into the
the-
microphone, and it just goes in his mouth, and you just hear him go as he chokes on her.
Cable just comes
It's
back
like
out.
Zuki. Yeah, it's like the like.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Shit me.
I think it's old enough that it would have been almost impossible to do in post production.
Yeah.
Like now, you can just fake anything, can't you?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
we
yeah.
live in the Running Man.
I'm going to fucking find it right now. Ross, tell us where you can find us. Find you.
On the internet. No, you can't. I'm just on this podcast.
Twitters.
Sometimes I'm on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just look for me.
What's
on
your
Twitter.
count? What's your count on Twitter at the moment?
Like 2?
Oh, gone down from 100 to
No,
2.
it's like 100. Like it goes. My
Up and down.
Twitter goes like this. It goes 101, 102, 103 bots, and then it goes back to 100 because you just get followed by bots, and then they just
Amazing.
unfollow as their accounts get closed.
I have found a video of man swallows microphone at wedding.
Yeah.
I'm going to link that below.
Chris, watch it now just with the sound up. It's
Yeah.
amazing. You just cut it out.
Okay, let's have a look. Holy shit. Oh, God.
It's so enjoyable to see someone watch that for the first time.
Wow.
Like, it's so old. It's like how
Yeah.
have we not seen it? It's
That's like the first
it's
2
like the
years
guy-
of YouTube, isn't it?
It's like the guy who does the front flip with the nunchucks, and then he just smashed his head so hard that as he stumbled. But the weird thing is, he stumbles out of shot, and it sounds like he just falls into like every saucepan and drum kit ever.
But that was all like shots of people auditioning or something, wasn't it? For something, that one, because there was a load of them before it gets to him.
Yeah, there's
And
like
yeah.
but he's like, "Watch this, baby," and then he just
It's the guy that tries to do the backwards side kick on the dummy and like misses the dummy, spins around, and then somehow like knees himself in the face as he goes down. It's genius.
You guys watched way too many fails.
the
on YouTube.
internet, the greatest invention.
Many
ever.
years ago, that was all that was on YouTube. That and
Yeah,
trailers.
yeah, true.
No, it's pre-YouTube, mate. It's like eBums world,
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Abomb.com.
Anywho, right, so yes, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, on your podcast app on your phone. Please do like, share, and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we shall look forward to seeing you next week when we will do something.
We're going to probably just say a little something now. We might change the format of the show. You can always leave this in or take it out.
We can do. So we're looking at the idea of changing the format of the show and breaking things out into separate podcasts. They will be
News.
They will be on the same channel, so you won't have to go anywhere else. But more on that will probably follow later. Don't panic. We're not changing anything right now.
And if you've got any comments, please, if you see a post up on the Facebook page to do with any relevant news stories or just generally talking about the latest podcast, feel free to chuck us a comment or a question or something you find interesting that you think we might be interested in as well.
Cool. Will that do us?
Goodbye.
Let's get the hell out of here.
See you later. I'm going
It's
into
too
the
hot.
sea.
At least when you step outside, it's going to feel really cool.
No, it's going to be
Gonna be
it's really
so
muggy out
cold
there.
outside in comparison to this room, and so less sweaty and smelly.
It's not even the hottest day of the year. That was yesterday. Yeah.